Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download and a 30-day free trial at audibletrial.com/Drunken Peasants. Over 150,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. One of my personal favorites is Stephen King's It, which they're making into a movie. Again.
Live from the frigid armpit of America, this is the Drunken Peasants Podcast with Ben and TJ, bringing you opinions of the news from an altered perspective.
Fuck it! Say, man, you got a joint? No, not on me, man.
I don't have facts to back this up.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
What the fuck are you talking about, atheist?
It's okay.
You're nothing, TJ. You're garbage.
I just want to be light.
You're garbage, TJ.
And now, here are your hosts, Ben and TJ.
We'll do it live. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
Fucking thing sucks.
Welcome to the Drunken Peasants Podcast. I'm Ben.
And I'm not TJ.
Yeah, no.
TJ's at CenaCon currently.
Yeah.
It's a large group of Cena fans all get in a circle and have a circle jerk. So that's basically what CenaCon is, and he's not here.
Yeah, he's not here, but we do have PaulsEgo here.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Fucking thing sucks.
Fucking Paul sucks.
It's doing that.
Fucking Paul lies.
Stupid.
He lies.
It's doing that thing where Paul's like super loud. All right. Okay, now it should be fine.
Okay.
Yeah?
I've already fucked it up, see?
Yeah. We're really bad at
Fucking
introducing
Paul.
people, so I guess why don't you introduce yourself, say whatever you want to say.
Okay, yeah, I'm PaulsEgo. I'm a fat internet atheist.
Do you do lots of drugs?
I have done lots of drugs in the past, and I continue to do lots of drugs, yes.
You're a stand-up guy in my book.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, I appreciate it. And that's really all I have to say about myself.
All right, sounds good.
All right. Anything new or interesting happened since the last time you've been on the show? I know it's been, I think the last time you're on here, was it when we had the drawing contest?
Yeah, it was the birth of the drawing contest and then the revealing of every person on the internet mocking me, culminating in a picture of me literally laying like a pile of flubber in an alleyway begging for change. You know what I mean? Like, oh. So yeah, nothing really exciting. I wish I had an exciting story for you, but I've just been doing lots of work. I'm doing another Q&A video for those of you out there that are fans of mine. I've got another Q&A video up on my channel, so you can ask me questions if you'd like over there. But other than that, I've really got nothing going on.
Sounds fascinating.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So first video we're going to cover is probably the video we've gotten the most recently. I'd say probably like 10 or 12 people on Facebook sent this to us. A woman proves how Monster Energy drink is satanic.
Ah.
Oh shit.
The jig is
Look
up.
at your M closely. There's a gap right here in the letter M. It's never connected. So you go into Hebrew. The letter Vav is also the number 6. Short top, long tail. Short top, long tail. You could have here in Hebrew 666 on the can. But my interest is the word monster.
You could.
What do you see in the O?
I like that. You could have a 6.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah. Everything's always you could. And what is in the O? Do we want to take guesses before she tells us? Is it supposed to be a serpent's eye or something?
I've already watched it, so I know what she's going to say, but
I haven't seen it. So
she's
I
kind of
don't
like
know.
the vigilant Christian who we have on here from time to time. She finds satanic symbolism, Illuminati symbolism.
It
in
looks like
everything.
they're like at like a venue. Is this like Crazy Con or something?
Yeah, she was taking a break from cosplaying as Jesus or as Mary Magdalene or whatever.
there's a cross.
Okay.
What has Christ got to do with an energy drink, let alone the name Monster?
Nothing.
Which is the point, that she misses.
This is just
If
some
they just-
caffeinated.
They just put it in the O to make it look cool.
Right.
You can't have an empty O anymore. I don't know if you've noticed modern advertising, but when there's an O, there's something in it.
So I thought, well, maybe this is a Christian company then. BFC at the bottom of the can. Do you know what that stands for? That's the F word. Big can.
BFC. That's
What?
the F word for big fucking can.
Oh, the F word. Oh,
They're
well.
not Christians. Oh my god.
Yeah, because
Clearly not
Christians
Christian.
never used the F word before.
Yeah.
That's never happened.
No, never been cussed out by a Christian before.
Do you say
In
otherwise?
fact, never
Ben?
never heard one cuss, personally.
In fact, they write it on the side of the can, so I know that's the F word.
Okay.
Now, do you know what a MILF is?
Yes.
Not you.
Well, definitely not.
Oh,
That is strange.
Oh.
It's like, do you know what a MILF is? It's like, what does this have to do with Satan and energy drinks? I don't know.
Ben, not you.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right though. I wouldn't fuck her.
No.
No.
That's on the box.
TJ would though.
MILFs dig it, and you will too. This is not a Christian company at all. So why would they have put a cross on the can? Here is the message. Antichrist.
Dun dun dun.
She cracked the code.
Yep, she cracked the Monster Energy code. It's all a big conspiracy. And she's right. It is all a big conspiracy. It's all a big conspiracy to sell energy drinks to teens and young 20s. So that's why we make our M drip and we put a big X in the O and we say big fucking can and we reference MILFs. We want to sell energy drinks.
Extreme energy.
666 in Hebrew. And then the Bible talks about
Satanic
beast
energy.
in Revelation. And look at Monster's ad. This is their statement.
Unleash
You
the
see
beast.
these
That she may have a point now. I'm starting to, there's just too much.
Number of the beast.
There's too much coincidence.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this woman.
comes everywhere. Hats, t-shirts, bumper stickers. Is there another agenda here? If God can use people and product, so can Satan. And look at it this way. Even if the M was not the issue, you cannot deny that that is a cross. And what is witchcraft? When the cross goes upside down.
That's not witchcraft.
And even so,
When the cross goes
if
upside
you believe in God, then you must know that God is allowing this to happen anyways.
In
So,
Catholicism,
it's not even a problem.
In Catholicism, an upside down cross is known as St. Peter's cross because he was crucified upside down.
Yeah, but that's them Catholics. They
Oh,
don't
yeah.
really
Yeah,
know
that's
much
them
about
Catholic.
anything.
They're not
They crazy.
Christians.
Yeah, they
Them
fake
Catholics
Christians.
don't know nothing.
Yeah, they don't know anything. Oh, she wanted to drink it. She
And the
wanted to
devil
drink it.
laughs.
Bottoms up and then the devil laughs.
Bottoms up, and the
Yeah,
devil.
When we cover videos like this, one thing that we notice is that all of this satanic worship is unintentional. These companies want people to unintentionally worship Satan.
Yeah,
apparently.
like let's say that all of that shit is true. Okay, that she said it's a Hebrew, whatever, the Hebrew 666. There's a cross. I don't know what big fucking can has to do with the devil, but let's just say it's all satanic, right? How would that affect me? Like as just a guy that was like, I'm fucking tired and I need an energy drink. Like, is she claiming that because all of these arcane symbols are on the outside of the can that I'm somehow ingesting the devil? Is that the
Devil
idea?
semen. You're ingesting the devil
Yeah.
semen.
It's like the satanic version of the Eucharist, only it gives you energy. So,
Yeah, it keeps you awake. It provides a useful purpose, unlike the Eucharist.
more
Which does
energy to
nothing
worship
for you.
Satan. Exactly.
Yeah.
Except for it gets stuck in your teeth. It's kind of.
Yeah.
Dude, I want to come out with like the satanic energy drink company. It'll just blow their minds. Like we're just like, we believe in Satan. Fucking, drink this, and you'll have energy to worship Satan more.
Rockstar Energy Drink is owned by Michael Savage's son.
Really?
Just on a side
Is it
note.
really?
Yeah. Yeah, it
Satan
is.
energy drink.
Yep.
Comes in only one size, Satan's fat cock.
The can should look like a big cock.
Just a big dick that you squeeze, you know.
You squeeze it, it squirts out.
1,200
Squirts out the
milligrams
fucking
of
green-
caffeine.
The green semen of the devil.
And we
Oh
can
my
make it
God.
happen. Hire a chemist. We got this down.
Is it? Does she just have too much time on her hands? Is that what's going
I
on
think
here?
so.
Oh.
I think so. I don't know anything about her, so I don't want to assume too much, but it seems like it. Yeah, it seems that way. Before we move into the next story, just wanted to take some time to let everyone know we're still taking pledges at patreon.com/DP. Go there to support our show. For donors $5 and above, we're going to start doing an exclusive show only for people that donate $5 or above monthly to us. So that's a perk. Feel free to go there and show us your support. Now we're going to move on to Wild Bill for America.
Oh God, not this dickhead in a Ted Allen hat.
Fuck yeah.
Hello, everybody. Wild Bill for America here. Well, the most lawless
I'm still
Attorney
a
General
douche.
in American history has stepped down, and every American who loves and respects the USA breathed a sigh of relief and are now waiting for the investigations into Eric Holder's violations of the laws he was supposed to enforce. Unfortunately, his departure now allows the most lawless president in American history to appoint another Attorney General.
Is he really the most lawless president?
Yeah,
And
the previous president invaded 2 other countries. One which there was no justification at all.
I can't even like respond to this guy with that fucking hat on his head. I feel bad for whoever has to help him set this camera up, and like I bet his wife does it. And all I can do when I watch a Wild Bill video is just feel bad for whoever's like around him and
Yeah, I feel
helping
bad.
him do this. Like, who has to sit there and listen to him ramble on and on about stupid fucking shit all day wearing that fucking hat? Ugh.
you know, I didn't think people actually dress like that unless it was Halloween until I moved to the Southwest, and then I realized that people actually dress this way, and there are giant department stores that sell Western wear and shit like that. I couldn't believe it. I laughed my ass off.
I was gonna say that like, this is obviously a park, so people have to walk by and hear this crazy shit. Like his last video we did, he actually had people walking by and they're like, "What the hell is going on?"
Yeah.
Like, can he do this at his fucking house? You know, it's like you have to go and like people are going to the park to chill, and it's like, and the most lawless president we've ever had, Obama. You know, it's like, oh God.
Are
give
those
me a
palm
break.
trees in the background?
It does look like.
So
it.
where does he live? Do they have palm trees in southeast Texas?
I don't know. If you watch his videos, you'd have to believe he lives like a little bit of everywhere, because he's been out in front of like snow-capped mountains. Here he is in front of palm trees. Like,
Yeah.
where is this man? And who's traveling with this
Where
man,
is
helping him
Wild
film
Bill?
this incessant bullshit?
Gee, what kind of person do you think he'll choose? Well, we have some clues. The new Attorney General appointee is a black female named, believe it or not, Lynch.
Okay. There's plenty of people with the last name Lynch.
Oh my God! And he's got to bring this up. This is that subtle racism, right?
Yeah.
It's a
She's
black
a black
female.
Yeah.
Named
I don't hate black people, but they all niggers. It's like,
she's
okay.
named Lynch, and that's what we do with nigger. I mean, she's named Lynch.
And rumor has it that Al Sharpton recommended her. Considering the track record of the Obama administration, it's very possible that the appointment of Ms. Lynch could be the beginning of a new attack on American values. Charles Krauthammer, one of America's most prominent psychiatrists, has analyzed Mr. Obama, and he predicts that Obama is going to do something reckless to get revenge on Americans for the recent elections, where Obama's Democrats got pounded like banana-stealing monkeys.
Getting pounded by a banana. That made me laugh. Sorry.
Pounded like banana stealing monkeys. Like, where does he even come up with this colloquialism? Like, where does this even come from? Like,
Who knows?
why? I can understand like the South has these little, you know, like my mom calls squirrels boomers all the time. I have no idea what the fuck that means, but I didn't know what a squirrel was till I was like 19. But like where does banana pounded or pounded like banana stealing monkeys come from? Oh.
I've never heard that before, so I have no idea.
With Ms. Lynch as Attorney General, the term getting lynched might take on new life. But this time, it won't be black people.
Oh my God. Okay, that wasn't subtle at all.
I can't even believe that. Like just the the utter lack of any kind of subtlety on his part is shocking and awesome. This
Unless,
time,
of course, she targets the.
Yeah. I like how he threw that. Like he was being subtle about it at first.
Patriotic ones who stand shoulder to shoulder with those of us who want to end racism in America. Racial violence against whites and Asians has exploded during Obama's tenure, and even now some are desperately trying to keep the Ferguson racial fiasco going.
It's not a racial fiasco that, I mean, it is racially motivated, but it was because someone was murdered by a police officer.
Yeah.
It was because of racism on the part of the police officers.
Well,
So-
I kind of I don't agree with the term fiasco. I mean, it was definitely racial. But yeah, I don't know. Fucking Wild Bill. everything. Once again, everything's a conspiracy.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, Wild Bill, you and your crazy bullshit.
yeah.
Why won't the liberals allow racism to die out in the USA?
What?
Stirring up racism has been.
What?
You just claimed that white people are going to be lynched by the new attorney general, and it's liberals that aren't letting racism die in the United States.
Yeah, he's making this video, but claiming the exact opposite. Oh, he's so stupid.
And very profitable for the Democrats. A lot of people vote Democrat because they believe the Democrats will take money from the people they hate.
Okay, he just said that in the midterm elections, like basically they got pounded into whatever his stupid phrase was. But now he's saying now people vote Democrat. It's like people vote Democrat because they probably agree more with what the Democrats are saying than the Republicans. But it's not like either political party has done much of anything to begin with.
Pounded like banana stealing monkeys. I think that was a subtle, racist quip there too.
Probably so.
Give it to them. And to keep getting those votes, the Democrats must keep racial hatred alive. But it's getting harder for them to do that because people of all colors are starting to rebel against politically manufactured racism. The race-baiting vote is in danger of vanishing. And that would mean the end of liberal Democrats in office. Enter Ms. Lynch. What is she going to do? Well, I predict that one of her first acts will be to target white law enforcement officers who forcibly stop crimes committed by black criminals.
I want to say that Wild Bill has the most subtle advertisement ever. Like the lifting up of his mug, which I'm sure you can buy. You know, if you go to his page, he just constantly lifts up that stupid fucking American flag mug with wildbillforamerica.com written on it.
And it's like a nice sip of freedom every time I'm making a video.
I don't even drink out of it. I just hold it up.
Yeah, available at wildbillamerica.com. For only $19.95.
And the left-wing media will join right in, trying to turn every incident into another Trayvon Martin-style fiasco. The more violent...
Another instance where a black person was murdered that was unarmed.
Why are people upset the police, are civilians murdered someone and they got away with it? I don't understand.
I know, it's shocking, right?
It's just a big fiasco.
Once they incite, the more likely white citizens will be forced to defend themselves, which will provide even more propaganda material for the race baiters. This kind of nonsense is what America gets when we walk away from the God and country values that founded this nation. You want to push back against evil policies like this race-baiting nonsense? Best way to do that is for us as Americans to once again declare ourselves to be one nation under God and to act like it.
I want a little counter every time he does that. Ding, ding,
So
ding.
the only way to get rid of racism, which he believes is manufactured, we need to go back to being one nation under God.
Well, we need
That's
to
the
get
solution.
back. we need to get back to the God and country founding of our nation, which, was founded by people who were running from theocracy.
Well, if there's
By the
one thing
way.
if you've ever read the Bible, in the Bible, everyone is always, gets along perfectly. So,
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, if we just all do what he said, like he says, we just follow, God and read the Bible, there's there's never been a message of division in there. Never been people slaughtering each other.
No,
Never.
and we should definitely get back to the deist values of a gigantic chunk of our founding fathers who believed that if a God exists, it wanted to have nothing to do with anything that we do. Yeah, that's the God that our country was founded on, was a deist God, if any God at all.
He wants us to
I
get-
love this painting of the founding fathers, like they were all just like these super pious, Christians wearing flannels and stupid little fucking black 10-gallon hats.
They didn't own any slaves either.
No, of course not.
because racism is manufactured by the media.
Well, that was more racial manufacturing. See, we were bringing black people over here as a work program. I mean, look how much better off black people in America are today than they would be if they were back in Ubuntu, wherever they're from.
You're onto something there.
Yep.
Oh, Wild Bill, you're the gift that keeps on giving. All right, so
WildBillForAmerica.com. Ding.
the next video we have is a really long one, so we probably won't spend too much time on it. But this guy believes that the Earth does not rotate. It's just a big conspiracy that we believe that the Earth rotates.
Oh man, where do we find these people?
Well,
before we start this, the fact that does this not just remove any hope that you have for the future of humanity? The fact that there are people out there where you have to argue that the Earth rotates, we can't just
I'm
come
not
to
sure.
a consensus on the Earth rotating. We've got to start that basic and then move on to things that matter, like politics and abortion and drug legalization. We can't even convince some people that the Earth is rotating.
I'm sitting in a room and I'm still. If the Earth was rotating, I think I'd feel it moving.
Yeah, I can't feel it.
I don't know. It would feel like a carnival ride. I think this is bullshit.
Do me a favor. Stand up and spin around and count to 30. When you stop, what happens? You're dizzy. Are you dizzy right now? Not spinning.
Well, my big question is, how can something that's flat rotate?
Yeah, there you go.
That's true.
Anyway, yeah, here's this guy.
There's no rotation to Earth, guys. No.
Done. End the video. We're
Modern
done.
conventional scientific man has adopted a 470-year-old theory by Copernicus. There is no, absolutely zero rotation to Earth. That is a fact. It's been
It's a fact. Now he's going to tell you how it's been proven.
Okay.
proven. Michelson Morley failed to detect any rotation to the Earth. Airy did an experiment with telescopes. Sagnac did an experiment with light.
We did an experiment. It was called a space shuttle launch, where they went up into space and they could sit there and see the Earth rotating. How do you explain that? Just wondering.
I explain that as voodoo and nonsense.
Oh.
The images are probably doctored. They're probably just in a Hollywood studio.
Hey, Ben, have you ever
Yes.
seen Jurassic Park?
Yes.
Were there really dinosaurs in that movie?
Oh, good point.
There's your answer. Hollywood soundstage.
Yep.
And
There's
and
no
my favorite thing about these types of conspiracies are, okay, so why? Once again, we have to ask, just like the monster can, right? To what end are we being deceived about the Earth rotating?
Yeah.
Like,
Who
what
does
is
that
that-
benefit?
What's the benefit of all of us being duped into believing that the Earth is rotating?
I think where this guy is going, I didn't watch his whole video because it's over a half hour long, but
Oh, Jesus.
I believe he may say something about how the Bible doesn't say anything about the Earth rotating.
Ugh.
He's starting with his conclusion and then trying to fabricate evidence around that
He's
conclusion.
affirming the consequence. He's
Right.
basically saying, "Oh, this is what I believe, so I'm just going to work back." Yeah, of course.
rotation to the Earth, and it curves the other way. That's the ruse. That's truth. The rectilineator experiment proved the curvature of the Earth curves upward. The Tamarack mineshaft plumb bob experiment showed that plumb bobs diverge at the bottom of mine shafts instead of converging.
So is he trying to say that the Earth is like a big bowl that we're in? The Earth curves upward?
That's what I'm getting from this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is what he's saying. Yeah.
Which I know isn't mentioned in the Bible. So
No. I don't know. I may have just, because I listen to crazy videos all day when I'm getting ready for a show.
You may have gotten one mixed up.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
The center of the so-called gravity is actually 4,000 miles up instead of 4,000 miles down.
So-called gravity.
What does rotate is the heavens, the celestial sphere, and the planets. Earth is not a planet, guys. Earth is the housing to the entire universe. This is a mindset that has been adopted erroneously by mankind for centuries. And it's completely wrong. It's completely erroneous. The moon doesn't rotate.
True.
That actually is. You're right.
Yeah.
See, but he thinks he's just told us something great. But you're right. The moon doesn't rotate.
Right.
It's just funny how people there's so much information you can access because of the internet now, and like people just find this information and manipulate it into whatever conclusion they want, which is this is crazy bullshit. Which the Earth is not a planet.
The Earth is the housing for the entire galaxy.
Yes.
Oh. Okay.
It's not a planet.
It's not a planet. Yeah.
On its axis, there is no axis to the moon. It's moving, it's orbiting inside the Earth. We are all inside the Earth.
Oh, he's a hollow earther, I think.
Oh my God.
I don't even know if he qualifies as that. I've never heard of a bowl earther. I do love where you paused him though. He looks. This is about how I feel about his argument. I will say one thing about this guy though. At least he gets right to the fucking point, so you can turn his video off like early on. There is no rotation to the Earth, guys. Like he doesn't even say hello. It's me, the vigilant Christian Mario. He just says,
right.
There is no rotation to the Earth, guys. Oh.
You know what? If you can give him anything, he is direct. A lot of these people are like, here's my 15 minutes of bullshit before I get to my point. It's like, oh, God, no one cares. Just get on with it.
This is the truth. Imagery. I mean, even they'll say that person that went up in the balloon, the Felix Baumgartner guy, he showed that the Earth is convex. No, it's so simple, guys. It's a wide-angle lens.
Just like you said earlier, Paul, what is the benefit of putting on this ruse like that?
It's where every one of these most conspiracy theories just fall apart. It's like in aid of what? Like, okay, I can understand why the moon landing people would think that there would have been a benefit to faking the moon landing because it was a big, Cold War victory for us. It was beating the Russians to the moon, right? But shit like this, like the Earth is a bowl that contains all of the universe, like there wouldn't be one fucking scientist out there. Well, I'm sure there is one fucking scientist, which is what this guy's citing. But like how could this possibly happen, and to what end? Would fooling all of America or all of the world into thinking that we live on a fucking sphere that rotates? Like, does that help the Illuminati?
And the point I want to make too is like, how is he the only? If this is all true, how is he the only one that's realized this? If he has all this evidence, he should just present his evidence. Be like, I proved this. Here you go.
Yeah, he just opened up with, the Earth.
It's a fact,
rotate, guys.
It's a fact.
You're just all blind. You don't get it. All right. Yeah, we'll move on. Because that's pretty much all we can say.
Why do these guys always look like they're look and sound like they're seconds from weeping too? Like this guy looks like he could just break into tears at any moment, and he sounds like it too.
Oh yeah, he does. He sounds.
I don't understand. Like
emotionally unstable is my best guess for that.
Yeah.
I mean, the vigilant Christian Mario, that guy. We even covered a video of his where he's like weeping, like I have such bad anxiety. It's like because you believe a bunch of crazy shit that's not founded in reality or any factual basis.
Probably
So
contributes to it.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. You know, you spend your entire life.
It's based on a bunch of fucking fallacy and impossibility.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, but that's how some people are.
The next video is a slightly older video. It came out a few years ago, but it is, you know, like flu season right now. So I found a anti-vaccine conspiracy theorist video. This guy,
the hits keep coming.
This guy actually goes and confronts flu vaccine workers, people who are
poisoning our children.
Yeah. So
I don't know what he's going to say.
I'm here at the Catonsville
he sounds like an idiot.
Market in Maryland, and I saw something odd today.
It's really odd.
I saw these signs that say
odd.
flu shot today.
Oh!
That's very odd to see a sign that says flu shots today for some reason.
It's so odd.
Yeah, I'm here at the Catonsville Farmers Market, and I'm about to ruin a bunch of people's days by sticking a camera in their fucking face. When all they wanted to do was show up and buy a fucking pumpkin and a butternut squash or two.
Yeah, how dare they try to prevent a disease from spreading? That's so terrible, you know. How dare they? Don't they know what they're doing to these poor people? Giving them autism.
Flu shots today. One there and one over here.
Okay, yeah, sounds like they want people to know that there's flu shots there today.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So
it's so odd.
That's because they're giving out flu shots at this farmer's market.
that is fucking crazy. You gotta be
Whoa.
kidding me. Wait a minute. Flu shots today? That's because they're giving out flu shots at the farmer's market? Holy shit.
It's a conspiracy for sure.
Man, I've had my mind changed.
There are nice things here, nice things to get here.
He's one of the worst fucking cameramen in history, too. Just want to point that out.
It's like he's not even trying. It's like he's just swinging his arm like normally when you walk, holding this camcorder. It's awful.
We can't hear you. It's too windy.
Okay. I just looked this up, and it's like, okay, the number of people, according to the CDC, for 2011 that died from influenza and pneumonia is 53,826. I can't imagine why they would try to prevent that, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
It's very strange.
Flu shots, $24.99, free with Medicare.
Oh!
You can ask this guy some questions.
Oh my god.
What fucking question are you gonna ask him? Like, what do you? Why are you doing this? So people don't get the flu. They're at risk. Poison going into your body.
Yeah, it's like the people who are against vaccinations. A lot of them also wanted to, you know, ban travel from Africa to the United States. You know, they're afraid of Ebola, but not the flu. When the flu definitely has killed more Americans every year.
Oh, also, yeah, don't vaccinate your children as well. They're afraid of that too, but, you know.
Yeah, well, and this old man, this poor old guy, giving people flu shots in a fucking just sub-hurricane winds in some shitty fucking Maryland town. Like, he's clearly an agent of the apocalypse, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
He's definitely high up on the Illuminati scale. He knows all about this shit, and he's deliberately poisoning these people.
Well, Paul, they have to deceive you. You know?
Right.
If he looked evil, everyone would know. That's just like his fake form to fool society as he, you know, implants the microchip into them to control their brains, you know.
Right.
You have to wait till next week. If that shut down, so I have to hold on.
Oh, you're now part of the Illuminati. Good job.
Yeah, okay.
I have a few questions.
Yeah.
Okay. Who manufactures the flu shot that you're giving out?
This is by Novartis.
Novartis?
Yeah.
Okay, what does it contain?
I mean, it's got the flu antigens, and then it's...
the live flu virus?
No. This is just...
Okay, so that last question just proves that he has no idea how vaccinations
he's an
work.
idiot, you know. Is it the actual flu in there? Is that how you get it in the flu? You get the flu and you put it in the test tube, and then you make it in the factory, and then you put it in the needle, and you give people the flu, and then they become the robots and the zombies. And what goes on with that?
Yeah, that's the best way to prevent people from getting the flu is injecting them with the flu.
Yeah, yeah. It's got the active flu. No, sir, the antigens. Oh my God.
Part of the not even a full virus, just a part of it. I always tell people it's like if you were the virus, what's in there is like your clothes. Just enough for your body to recognize that's what the flu virus looks like and can attack it.
So part of the virus?
Yeah.
Okay. What about hard metals?
This one's not made with any mercury or anything. There are preservatives in there because it's a multi-dose file. There's no mercury or anything.
So what is there besides the partial virus? What else is in there?
Just there are some preservatives.
Like what?
I honestly don't remember which one's in this particular one. I know none of the mercury ones, thimerosal or any of those, I don't think so. But the ones that are in there, I'm not real sure.
You're not sure what's in there?
This poor guy's like, could you leave me alone? I have people to inject. Like, I've got shit to do. It's windy. I fucking hate this town. I've lived here my entire life, and I wish I could just run. And I've got to sit here and talk to your dumb ass about whether or not there's live flu virus in the fucking flu shot that I'm giving out.
I would not have been as polite as this guy
and don't you like
was.
he's like, you don't know.
Yeah.
Oh.
You don't know. Oh, gotcha.
Okay, no, this one's using the thimerosal. That must be the Roche one that doesn't. This one uses the thimerosal, the mercury derivative.
Oh, so there is mercury.
This one, yeah. It must be the other one we used to have. We get it from, we've had three different manufacturers. They all do it the same way, pretty much, but they may change what they use as preservative. We do have preservative free that we can buy, and we have in the store for people who have sensitivity to it. Plus, for those other people that are worried, they have the flu mist.
Plus for those other people like you that are insane.
Yeah, the crazies.
Yeah. So he's wow, oh, it does have mercury in it.
Oh, poisoning me there. I proved it.
Spray one, but that's a live virus. So there's a chance you could get some, not the virus, but some reaction with some fever from that.
So what have they taught you about the negative side effects of mercury?
Oh yeah, but this is not mercury. I mean, you're not giving you mercury. There's the mercury derivative, and the dose is so low.
There are no negative side effects to the mercury derivative whatsoever? Is that what they taught you?
If you give enough of it, you can have a side effect. I mean, there's side effects to every medication. That's why there's cost benefits. Everything you take has a side effect. It's a question of whether the side effect's worse than what it's trying to treat.
What's the side effect? I mean, what's the mercury derivative called again?
Thimerosal.
Thimerosal. Okay. Have you heard about how the flu shot increases your chance of getting the flu 3 to 4 times? Have you heard that?
Yeah, and it's bullshit. It prevents you from getting the flu. It doesn't increase it.
No. I mean, I've heard of it, but it's not true.
I've heard of it, but it's not true.
Correct.
What's true?
It helps people prevent getting the flu. But if they don't pick the right antigens, then it actually can reduce the symptoms.
Well, who taught you that it doesn't help to increase?
We're done. Okay? I'm not getting into any conspiracy theories with you. You have your opinion. You can keep your opinion. I'm not going to change that opinion. You're not going to change my opinion. So
I'm not trying to change anyone's opinion. I'm just trying to...
What?
Well, yeah, you are. You're pretty clear like, oh, well, this is all a bunch of... This is like a ruse. This is a scam.
This fucking guy.
And this guy's just here doing his fucking job.
I know. In a fucking typhoon.
In a parking lot.
In a parking lot in some shitty fucking town where they're selling pumpkins right out on the street. This guy has to give flu shots to people all day, and you're grilling him like he's some kind of fucking evil bastard.
Yeah, this isn't the CEO of like Lilly or fucking some major pharmaceutical company where it's like, I want to know the truth.
Goatee means evil. Star Trek taught us that. The episode where Kirk goes into the mirror universe and he sees Spock, and Spock has a goatee, so he knows at that very moment that it's evil Spock
shit.
in this alternate reality. That's what's going on here. This guy has a goatee, automatically evil.
Learn more about what you're giving out here.
I told you what I'm giving out.
Yeah, and I'm asking questions about
Okay,
it.
I've told you everything I know.
So you don't think there's any validity to the claim that it actually increases the likelihood that other people...
You're making the claim. The
Well, where
burden
are
of
you
proof
getting
is
your
upon
information?
you, not this
Information.
guy. You're a fucking moron. Okay, if you go like, I'm going to make a claim, it's like, okay, well, the burden of proof is on you. You're making the claim. Like, no, you need to answer. It's like you're shifting the burden of proof onto this guy who's in a fucking parking lot just trying to fucking do his job. I just don't get it.
Well, he literally let you read the ingredients. Now go and do a Google search and find out for yourself what those ingredients do and leave this poor man alone.
I've heard this information other than I've heard people claim that, but nobody has any proof. This stuff is all based on evidence-based scientific study of what this does.
I'm saying, where do you get that information, though? I'd like to know.
Well, it's in the journals. I mean,
Is the mainstream media? Is there...
Oh, the mainstream media.
Lamestream media.
There it
Telling
is.
lies.
The mainstream media tells doctors what they should believe.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
CBS has been on the phone with this guy just in case somebody showed up to question him.
Any source of information?
$24.99, or if you have Medicare, it's no charge.
Question. You don't think there's any credence to the fact that it actually strengthens the virus because of the virus adapts
Well,
to
you tell me
this?
scientifically how you think that can happen, and I'll comment on why you think it happens. I don't know how that happens, but if you have an idea of theoretically how it can happen, I can comment on it.
You never heard that?
All his argument is, you haven't heard that? You don't know about that? It's like he's asking you to provide some evidence or something to refute. You have provided nothing, but you haven't heard of that? That's not a fucking argument.
It could happen. I mean,
So you don't
all
really
viruses
know.
will mutate. Excuse me, it's viruses mutate, but there's no proof that the flu shot would make it mutate. Viruses just like to mutate. That's what they do. That's why they survive in our society now.
Well, when you have this flu shot in your system, the fitter flu virus gets to grow in you, gets to spread in you, and it definitely is
well,
going
then
to.
we shouldn't take any medication.
Well, there is a possible negative side effect of taking antibiotics as well. Yeah.
You want me to fill all this stuff? Yeah.
Look at him. He's trying to fucking help people. Like, there are people with legitimate questions. Like, do you need me to fill all this out? Not. Like, could you just leave the man alone? Like, I don't understand what you're accomplishing here. Like, is there anybody that watched this video, a single person on YouTube watched this video and went, see? Yeah,
I'm sure.
I used to think vaccines were a good thing, but now my mind has changed. Like, I doubt it.
People with confirmation bias, but that's it. You know, like, people that already suspect these things.
Right.
Like, I think yeah, sure. But anyone who's like, I'm on the fence or I don't know is, yeah, this guy, he's made some good points. He hasn't made any points. This is the first time he's even made half of a point.
Get the part back. The part out.
You don't normally get a reaction to this flu shot, do you?
Some people do.
Okay, yeah, we're done.
He's just lingering there behind.
I know.
And like Nosferatu, just waiting to pounce with more stupid fucking questions.
It's a pretty apt description of him.
Next video we're going to play, I wanted the audience's opinion on this, who was in the right, who was in the wrong. I'm going to play a video clip. This is a video that got kind of popular on the internet over the last week. There was a band, No Effects, they were playing a show, and the singer commented that he wasn't feeling well, and a few things happened. And after watching the video, if people look in the video description, there's a link to a poll. We're going to take the poll, and at the end of the show, we'll announce the results of it. So there's two angles to it. I'm going to play the first one here.
Okay, so I hurt my neck somehow really bad, so I can't really move around very well. So if you throw something at me again, I'm going to really be pissed.
What did you say?
That was a full beer can, apparently.
Oh, damn, that fucking hurts. That would fucking hurt like a motherfucker.
I'm sorry. That took me so fucking aback. That looked like it hurt so fucking bad.
So he's already pissed based on this.
Oh, for sure.
Anyway, tonight I had to go to the fucking doctor because I threw out my neck and I've been having a hard time playing tonight. That's me.
So you can see the fan just came on stage and like kind of grabbed him.
Yeah. In the same area too. He's like, my neck hurts, and he grabs him by his neck.
Yeah.
Let's see. We'll take away this so that people can see it.
Finish him. Fatality.
You can't really see it here, so I'll play the next one where you can see it from a better angle. Boom.
Wow.
So, who was in the wrong? Was the guy that got on stage in the wrong? Was Fat Mike in the wrong? Do you not give a shit? Do you think they're both wrong?
I have to go with the guy jumping on stage. I mean, he's not supposed to be there. He has to kind of expect that kind of treatment. You know, I mean, it's not like he came up to him in public, was like, hey, how you doing? And he just put his hand on him and he fucking just wailed on him. That'd be like more like, hey, don't touch me if he does it again. Then I can kind of understand that.
I don't know if the kick was needed.
No, but
I don't really have a problem with him throwing the guy on the ground, because that's really all that would have been needed for the security guys to jump up on stage and get him. So I think and this just my opinion, but I think the kick kind of puts the punk singer in the wrong here.
Yeah. I think if you get on stage and you put your hands on anybody on stage, you're kind of accepting the consequences of whatever could happen at that point. Obviously,
it was an excessive reaction. Sure.
If he would have pulled out a knife and like stabbed him in the heart, that probably would have been different.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, of course.
But
I mean, it's a fucking punk show, dude. People get up on stage and shit gets crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so feel free to go to the poll and vote on that, and we'll talk about the results of the voting before we go into the Q&A segment. Here's another video I found. Concerned mothers against medical marijuana in Florida. Right, this is shortly before they voted on it, and it did not pass. And for some reason, it needed, what was it, like 60%?
60%. Yeah.
It got like 58%. So.
Democracy, fuck yeah.
And hot shops. This is enough. This has to stop.
Oh.
So why are you here?
They have no rhythm.
I moved here from Colorado about 4 months ago, and just want to let you know that you will have pot shops all over the state of Florida if you pass Amendment 2.
Sounds good to me.
So she's from Colorado. She knows what she's talking about. Slippery slope. Yeah. You let people with AIDS smoke weed. Before you know it, there'll be pot shops everywhere.
Everyone will have AIDS, and everyone will be smoking weed. Yeah. Even children. Like, you're 2 years old. Time for your first joint.
It is just legalization of medical marijuana is just open door for legalization of marijuana everywhere, including to the young.
Okay.
And it is not medicine. It is drugs.
It is not medicine. It's drugs.
Got it, lady.
I would say all medicine is drugs.
Man, don't you think she just needs to smoke a joint and think about this again?
Yeah. Literally, I wish somebody would just give this lady a joint. That's she needs medical marijuana. She's clearly stressed out and needs to fucking stop harshing everybody's mellow with this mothers against fucking medical marijuana bullshit.
Please vote no on Amendment 2.
Vote yes.
See, this is bullshit fear-mongering.
Man, their signs aren't even
Keep
good.
pot shops out of Florida. It's like the vote that they had nothing to do with shops.
Pot shops.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a medical marijuana initiative. Plus, I've been to Florida, and this idiot with the "Don't dump dope on Paradise" sign. If Florida is paradise, I don't ever want to go to paradise again. It is a mosquito and crocodile infested sinkhole.
Oh yeah, I've been to Florida too, and I don't understand why anyone would have that impression of it.
Fuck Florida. Hashtag fuck Florida.
Hashtag fuck Florida.
Hashtag TJ Cena.
I'm against too because I'm a nurse, and I think that it doesn't provide the kind of protections that we need. And if we have the Colorado experience, the state will have to
ban
build
alcohol,
an unbelievable number of
ban cigarettes.
How is this the Colorado experience?
Hey Ben, what practical use and medically does tobacco have? I can't think of any. I think we should ban it. And how many people die from smoking every year?
Quite a few.
You know, hey, I think we should ban that.
I just hate the false analogy that they're making here. They're comparing it to Colorado, but
and it's not.
This measure had nothing to do with making it recreationally legal. I agree with the legalization of recreational cannabis, but that they're distorting what this whole measure had to do with.
Of course.
Rehab units, and I think the long-term effect of that will be we will have an income tax in the state of Florida to pay for marijuana.
Hold on, what?
Well, if you don't, Florida's a no income tax state. So she's basically saying that it basically usage is going to skyrocket and people are going to become addicted, and that being a nurse, the only way to pay for it is to basically institute an income tax in Florida. Because there's a few states in the U.S. that don't have an income tax, like Texas doesn't, Washington State doesn't. There's just a few states that don't. So basically a slippery slope argument. Again,
yeah, the fear-mongering old shriveled-up harpy. Nothing better to do than stand on a fucking swamp corner in the worst state in the union and try and keep people who would medically benefit from marijuana from being able to get it in the state. Fucking bravo to you, lady.
Good job.
Good job. Thank you.
Oh my! We'll think of the children.
Think of the children.
The lamest argument you can ever make. Think of the children.
I don't want to see marijuana legalized in Florida because it's going to impact their generation like nothing else.
Positively.
If you care about children, if you care about children, why aren't you standing on a corner with a "Let's ban alcohol" sign? Because how many children every year are killed in drunk driving accidents in this country? And how many liquor stores are within a half mile of where you're standing?
Or what about domestic violence? Alcohol is a huge factor in domestic violence. Like how many kids have been put into foster homes or been beaten by their drunk dad or drunk mom or drunk relative?
Stone driving deaths up 100% in Colorado. That's what it says, in Colorado at the bottom.
Sure, there's always going to be side effects. You know, I guess it's.
I don't know if that's true. I'd have to look that up.
But even let's assume it's true. But even so, there's always going to be consequences. There's always, if you do something in society, and like let's say, you know, okay, now you can buy alcohol. Like, you know, after we had prohibition ended, and like I'm sure, you know, the number of people committing crimes probably went up because, like, yeah, you know, people weren't drinking as much or weren't able to get as much alcohol, then suddenly they were. There's always going to be, you know, these residual effects and effects directly, you know, probably correlated from that. But if we want to live in a free society where people vote on these issues and if people vote that our society accepts this, then I don't really see why that's a big deal. That's kind of saying like... I
just found, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Scotty.
Oh, go ahead.
I just found a Washington Post article that says, since marijuana legalization, highway fatalities in Colorado are at near historic lows. And it goes on to talk about how highway fatalities have actually dropped since. Now, I have no idea if there's a correlation there, but yeah, that sign is fucking retarded.
and you know what? You know, the number before they might have been able to prove might have been 10, and now it might be 20. You know what I mean? I mean, we don't know. And I mean, and like you're saying, the crash is, if we're looking at historically, they're at an all-time low. I mean, I don't know what they're arguing for besides they just don't like it. I mean, it really seems to me that's the thrust of this is like, you know, think of the children and we don't like this. We think these stoners are all bad people and we don't want this in our state.
And eventually anyone will be able to buy it and smoke it legally if this happens. So don't let sick and dying people use it because non-sick and dying people may get it sometime in the future.
Right.
Okay, yeah, and that pretty much sums that part of it up. So do you want to take a quick break before we move on to news stories, or do you just want to go right into it?
I think we keep going.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, let's roll.
Okay, so kind of on the same note here, looks like today New York City is taking measures to decriminalize. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Good news.
New York City, population 8.5 million, and minutes ago it announced a new policy covering people caught with small amounts of marijuana. Rather than reaching for the handcuffs, cops will now have the option of writing a ticket and sending pot users on their way.
So is it just their option? Can they
that's
still
lame.
arrest people?
I'm
Is that their
assuming
fucking
so.
discretion? Like, what?
Never mind.
So now, basically, it'll be black and brown people that get cuffed up for a little bit of pot, and white people will get a ticket.
Yeah, that's what it's sounding like.
The move starts November 19th, and it's to deal with the disproportionate number of minorities who are arrested for pot possession under the city's much criticized stop and frisk policy.
Yeah, that is one unique thing about New York is, you know, if a cop wants to, for pretty much any reason they can fabricate, they can stop and frisk you.
Are your papers in order?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, this isn't fucking, Nazi Germany. This isn't a fucking totalitarian state. Like, unless they have a fucking basis, which is like, I saw you selling drugs to children or some bullshit. I don't understand why this policy would make any sense. And, like, I've read about this policy extensively, and it hasn't really done anything. It's just fucking let's harass people that we don't like.
Well, it's gaffled up a lot of minorities for pot possession. Apparently, it's accomplished that. So,
yeah. So basically, it's accomplished nothing that of any value.
The New York Times reports a study from the director of the Marijuana Arrest Research Project. It found 86% of arrests through
shocked.
August for carrying.
Did they really need a study to know that?
But you know
honestly?
It is good to have the study to just prove this shit. Like, hey, we went and analyzed the data, and this is it.
Carrying pot were of blacks or Latinos. Joining me now to talk about this,
If you're selling cigarettes, you get choked to death, too, apparently.
Well, there's clearly a racist policy.
Yeah.
I mean, when you just look at that, 86% of people who are being arrested for this, I mean, come on.
editor-in-chief of High Times Magazine, Dan Skye.
Oh, he's high. He's high.
He's probably high right now.
Yeah, he looks like he roasts a doob now and again. That purple tie. I'm reading you, buddy. I see what's going on, yeah.
He's got his eyes closed so people won't see how stoned he is.
Mm-hmm. Legal analyst and former federal prosecutor Sonny Hostin. Dan, you say, and sort of no pun intended, it's high time that this happened.
Oh God, they always have to do that.
Fuck you, CNN. Fuck you.
It was like after they legalized it, right after the vote came through for Colorado, they're like Rocky Mountain High. They said that like 1,000 times. They always have to make these puns like they're not really taking it seriously. Like it is a big joke, no matter what.
Now, don't stone me for this pun, but it's high time. You know what I mean? Oh, just fucking stop. Report the news.
Yeah. It's the liberal media.
I mean, this has been going on since the Giuliani administration. We see 50,000 people being arrested a year for simple possession. 86%, as you say, are people of color. It costs the city between $1,000 and $2,000 for every single arrest. So this works out about 70.
If this would have been Sean Hannity conducting this interview, I guarantee you he would have asked this guy if he was high right now.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right, for sure.
$5 million a year that New York City is spending in tax dollars to prosecute people for simple possession of pot.
But you say, Sonny, that this isn't the right way to attack this, that what really needs to be dealt with is the stop and frisk policy and not really the treatment of marijuana possession in small amounts.
I think that's right, because what we're really dealing with is the issue of police reform, right? And we're also dealing with disparate impact that these arrests have had on the Latino community and on the African American community. But we still know that, at least in New York, possession of marijuana is illegal. And we also now know with this new policy that officers have the discretion to arrest or to provide a summons. Who's to say then that they only arrest the blacks and Latinos?
That's a valid
point. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, so they're both right. Congratulations.
and provide summonses for the white folks that are found to possess marijuana. And so I think, again, if you're giving a summons, now there's no way to track the disparate impact because summonses don't identify race. And so now there's less transparency in this process, and it's really an end run around the prosecutor's office, because at least if a prosecutor's looking at it, the prosecutor can determine whether or not this initial stop and whether or not the frisk are legal or not.
What do you think about that?
It still boils down to why are we arresting people for marijuana at this point? For God's sake, we've already seen what the impact is on the social fabric of the United States in Colorado and Washington. You know what it is? Nothing.
I think society's actually being destroyed by weed.
This guy smokes pan.
Oh God, this guy totally smokes weed. I mean, did you say he's the editor for High Times magazine?
Yeah,
he has some affiliation with it. And I mean, that's another point that I think should be brought up. It's like, look at Washington, and I mean, look at Colorado. It's not like their society is crumbling, which is what we heard before this was going to be legalized. Like, you know, or they had any. I mean, even going back to California, I think it was like in 2010 or 2012. Oh, actually, I think it was 2010, or where it was like, we're going to legalize weed in California, and it was like, oh, society is going to crumble, and the federal government's going to crack down real hard, and we're not going to tolerate all this shit.
Where, you know, Colorado is flush with new tax dollars. They've got a new sin tax on something that everybody fucking does, no matter what. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
What everybody tries pot one time in their lifetime, and now they've got.
I did not inhale.
Yeah. And now they've got this awesome fucking, you know, new tax revenue. I mean, it just makes no sense. It makes no sense not to legalize at this point. Although the discretion, this law, I agree kind of with the lady commentator there that this law may as well not exist. If the idea behind this law is to lower the amount of blacks and Latinos that are being gaffled up for having you know, a gram of pot in their backpack as they're walking down the street, then it's not going to do that because of the discretion clause here. So yeah, I mean, if it was fully decriminalized, that'd be one thing. But
yeah, I mean, these people are very clever. They realize, like, these statistics make them look bad, so they're going to do anything in their power to prevent them actually looking bad. They want the illusion that they're changing things while not really changing things.
Right.
It's negligible. It's time for New York City and New York State to get smart and legalize. I suggest open coffee shops in New York City.
Sweet.
They do it in Amsterdam. They're doing it in Colorado.
I'll go.
What a boon to tourism this would be. Honestly.
New York does okay with tourism.
It's about time. It's about time we get
I-
smart. It's about time we get smart with marijuana and realize that it is innocuous.
You know, I just.
Oh, I disagree.
Yeah.
I was right earlier. I was right earlier. Now I'm going to be wrong.
Yeah, I was saying something that made sense. Now I'm going to say something that doesn't make any sense.
They said she was a federal prosecutor, so how many people do you think she put away?
Oh, plenty.
Yeah, so she'd be a hypocrite. You know, of course, the worst thing to be is a hypocrite in these people's eyes. So, you know, changing your mind on a position that you had previously is not allowed.
Of course not.
Disagree with that. I don't think that an illegal drug is innocuous. I think it's very clear.
So it's innocuous. It's not innocuous because it's illegal, is what you're saying?
Well, I don't think it's innocuous because it is a drug. I think that there is certainly a place for medical marijuana, but I think what you're talking about really is the legalization of marijuana, of recreational marijuana.
That's what we're talking
about.
about.
I think that when we are now talking about the legalization of a drug that does have effects on your mind, it does have effects on your behavior.
Of course, it's a mind-altering substance.
You're really opening up a can of worms. When do you stop? Should we legalize crack? Should we legalize cocaine? Should we legalize hashish?
I don't know. We have alcohol legal right now. We have cigarettes legal. These are the most poisonous things possible, and our government subsidizes them. You can go through customs. And shop in alcohol and cigarette supermarkets.
Are you advocating legalizing cocaine as well?
No, I'm not. Are we here to talk about marijuana?
Yeah.
Right?
Typical fucking slippery slope. Oh, we'll legalize everything. But I am actually in favor of legalizing all drugs and regulating them. Sure.
I am too, but that's I like how she tries to kind of ease away from the actual topic at hand.
Well, of course, she has nothing to argue about. She has no basis for her beliefs.
Yeah, because there's nothing that you can cite that says that pot is more dangerous than alcohol or cigarettes. There's absolutely nothing that you can cite, and so you've got to start going, well, what about cocaine? What about amyl nitrate? You want people running around doing poppers and jerking each other off on the subway?
Yes, I do.
That'd be pretty entertaining.
I kind of do too.
Yeah, like wait a minute, Paul, you're onto something.
Why not? Where do you draw the line?
Do you see this move to give a court summons and not arrest folks who have a small amount of marijuana as a step towards legalization?
I still think it's a very nebulous policy, and we're going to see how it works out. Because once again, anytime you arrest people and put them through the system, you are impacting their ability to get employment and to get a proper education. And this is,
But
like
it's illegal.
But does this mean
it's illegal? You keep saying it's illegal.
It's illegal. That's what the law is, and the issue.
It's about time to change the law. And as a federal prosecutor, you should know that. You really should.
Well, I don't agree that we should change the law, but if you're advocating changing the law, that hasn't happened yet.
It's happening.
Solution,
it is
happening in other places. I agree. This solution, in terms of somehow ticketing or arresting, is again not the answer to what the issue is.
Yeah.
Well, she's so suddenly full of shit.
His facial expressions are amazing. He's so exasperated by this woman.
The issue is laws are disparately affecting people of color. Because you're going to have a law, you have to treat everyone the same way.
Absolutely.
That is what
it's not like the offense goes away.
So we have to make the arrest for marijuana more balanced. So we got to start arresting an equal amount of white people. I guess that's what you're saying, correct?
Well, if you break the law, regardless of your color,
let's make sure we arrest more white people for
let's
arrest more white people.
Well, she's making the point. You're saying that people of color are disproportionately put through the stop and frisk policy.
And are arrested for possession of marijuana, when we know that there's just as much usage in the white community of marijuana.
Yeah, sure.
And so
I would say there's probably more usage because there's more white people, but that's not even his point. The point he's trying to make is that people shouldn't get arrested for it at all.
Exactly. But she's just like, it's dangerous.
It's funny because the answer to every problem she brings up is legalization of weed. Okay, so black people and Latino people are disparately arrested for marijuana possession. Legalize it.
Yeah.
Then they won't get arrested anymore.
Problem solved.
If it's illegal, then you have to apply the law color blindly.
Absolutely.
Now, the other issue is whether or not we're going to legalize marijuana.
And we will,
in the state of New York. I am
there.
one of the few people, I suppose, that believes that is not.
And also our illustrious governor, who also says it's a gateway drug. Andrew, get with a program, for Christ's sake.
It is great to hear two very disparate points of view. I will say that. Dan Sky, Sonny Hostin, thanks so much to both of you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Huh.
Here's another one I got a lot of requests for. There was a high school student that was disciplined for not saying under God in the Pledge of Allegiance at his school.
Beat him, too.
A 17-year-old Tracy High School student got himself into hot water for his reading of the Pledge of Allegiance at school. He refused to say the words, under God.
I think that that's very wrong that, you get, disciplinary actions.
Shut up, atheist!
For thinking for yourself.
Good evening, I'm Sam Shane. The teen says he was punished, including detention.
Good.
School leaders are standing by their decision. New at 6, CBS 13's Derek Shore is in Tracy with both sides of this dispute.
Morons agree.
Well, the Tracy School District says they respect everyone's religious beliefs or lack thereof, but they say if you're going to lead the school in the Pledge of Allegiance, you better recite it in the traditional way.
Really?
And when did the tradition start? Because
this is what we're concerned with in this country. This is what we're concerned with. In a country that's coming apart at the seams, this is what we're doing. We're worried about this kid standing up and not fucking saying under God, which was put into the pledge in 1953 or some shit.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's some, storied American tradition at this point. It's a baby boomer tradition, if anything.
Right.
And he refused to do it, saying the pledge isn't even mandatory. Like they can't make you say the pledge in schools.
No, not at all.
And they're giving this kid disciplinary action for not saying under God in the pledge. Great.
Personally, I wouldn't say the pledge at all, because I'm not necessarily very patriotic, and I'm not religious.
But Derek Giardina says he went along with his speech and debate class assignment to get on the intercom and lead his school, West High, in the Pledge of Allegiance, something everyone in the class is assigned to do 12 times per year. But after reading the traditional 1954 version on his first 2 turns, on his third turn, he felt it necessary to remove the line "under God" from his reading, simply skipping over it.
One nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Giardina says he is agnostic and felt no need to use "under God," but then learned his grade had been docked.
It's a very large point value.
He says he was warned if he omitted "under God" again.
So they actually docked his grade as well.
In a class. Like what part of the curriculum is saying the fucking Pledge of Allegiance? And to what educational benefit is this kid being docked for not saying the Pledge of Allegiance as you wanted him to say it? Like, I don't understand.
You're not a good automaton. I guess that's what it is. I think part of his grade must be obedience. Obedience to authority.
He'd be in trouble. Well, he did, again, and now has detention.
There's something disciplinary happening because of my, religious beliefs.
A public forum where you're going to represent the school is not a place where you can voice a controversial issue and force that on other people.
But you can but you can force that onto him. That's
Right.
fine. If you're an atheist or agnostic or whatever, that's fine to say subject them to. You must say "under God." And if he has objections, that's oh.
Yeah, I mean, who did he force to say the pledge his way? Anyone else there could have said it the way they wanted to.
It's bullshit. His argument makes no sense.
Sam Strube at the Tracy School District says while school leaders respect all students' right not to say the pledge,
Bullshit.
the reason Derek was punished is the reading is an assignment. If students didn't want to do the assignment, Strube says there was an alternative offered. He didn't participate in the assignment correctly?
Well, students are given, like I said, students are given that choice, and so if you're representing the school and you're reading the announcements to the class, you can be graded on how well you read the announcements.
Whatever. This is such clearly vindictive shit for some butthurt Christian. How dare he admit under God he's going to be punished?
Yeah,
this is bullshit.
Clearly retaliatory.
Yeah.
Derek's decision has gotten around town. Vietnam vet and high school parent John Phillips feels like this.
If you don't want to say "in God," don't get up there and stand and recite the pledge. Because if you're going to recite the pledge, recite it correctly.
But other students I spoke to off camera support
it is correct.
If that guy's a Vietnam vet, chances are he's like around 70 years old at this point, and when he was a kid, they didn't. I mean, like when he was first born, they didn't have "under God" in the pledge.
Right.
Disgruntled old dude. That should have put that underneath him.
Disgruntled, doddering old fool.
Yeah.
Derek, he says his fight will go on.
I don't want someone else to have to, fight for this. This should be unnecessary.
And tonight it's unclear what Derek's next step is going to be, but the school district
totally
says
reasonable.
they hope to continue a conversation with him and
it's
his
really
family.
Sad. The 17-year-old is more reasonable than the school administrators. He's like, why is this even an issue? And they're just like, hey, if he's going to be an official school venue, he has to say it properly. It's like he admitted "under God." That's all it wasn't like he got up there and was like, fuck the high school, bro! He didn't do that.
You can be graded on how well you read the morning announcements. Get the fuck out of here with that shit.
The next video deals with an issue that I think all three of us care about. It's Obama made his stance known regarding net neutrality.
Oh, yeah.
Ever since the internet was created, it's been organized around basic principles of openness, fairness, and freedom. There are no gatekeepers deciding which sites you get to access. There are no toll roads on the information superhighway.
President Obama touting his support for a free and open internet. It's called net neutrality, and Obama says it is essential to the American economy and to the American way of life. CNN's Samuel Burke is here to talk a little bit more about this. Hey there, Samuel.
Hey, Randy. So anybody who cares about how much their internet bill is at the end of the month will be happy with this news. Basically, let me explain net neutrality. Companies like Netflix right now, they're being charged by the internet service providers like Comcast and Time Warner Cable more money.
Comcast and Time Warner Cable, which soon could very well be the same company.
That'd be terrible.
Because they're using...
I heard today, I was listening to right-wing talk radio, which I frequently do to keep my blood pressure up.
I do that too.
I like my blood pressure to be at least like 140/90, you know, so I'm really at risk of having a heart attack at any moment. And I was listening, and they did this like news break in between this guy's show, and they were like, Obama makes a statement calling for the widest expansion of government control over the internet ever. You know, that's what this is, right? It's government control over the internet. Unbelievable that this is even a discussion, once again, that we have to have as a country.
So much space, getting you all those movies and series that you're watching on Netflix. Eventually, though, that cost is probably going to be passed on to people like you and me, Randy.
Well, no
We're going to have
shit.
to pay for that extra money those companies are charging, like Comcast charging Netflix. But basically what's just happened, the president came out and said that he is recommending that the FCC reclassify the internet as a utility. And this would probably have the effect of making net neutrality real once again, that these companies couldn't charge Netflix and then the cost won't get passed on to you. Now,
Obama's
he's just
finally right about something.
Yeah, now that he's in the lame duck portion of his presidency. Thanks, Obama.
Yeah, it's like you finally got some issue right.
Yeah, he's no longer responsible for his own reelection or the midterm elections. All of that is over. Basically, the next 2 years, he can just basically do... He can actually stand on his actual positions now.
Right.
So,
recommending it at this point, but I'm speaking to some of the top lawyers in the United States dealing with this issue, and they tell me the FCC is very likely to go along with what Obama is saying, because 3 of the 5 people on the FCC commission are Democrats. We're seeing the stocks of Time Warner Cable and Comcast falling 6% and 5%, and you're seeing that tweet right there. Obama says, I'm urging the FCC to keep the internet open and free. Here's my plan to protect net neutrality for everyone. Even signing it, BO, and anybody who follows Barack Obama knows that if he actually signs it, BO, it means it really came from him and not just...
No, it means he has BO and he needs to put some deodorant on. I didn't even know that. I didn't know if it put... I mean, how easily could someone else put BO, though? I mean...
of course. It's like Obama actually fucking typed it out on his keyboard, or on his phone. It's like wonderful. That's great. I think Obama made this move because Obama's thinking about his legacy, and he's like, well, I haven't really done shit, so if I can fucking do this, people at least like me for that.
Yeah, maybe they'll forget about Guantanamo still being open.
The only people against net neutrality are fucking crazy Republicans, right-wingers, and fucking corporations who are like, we can charge more money, so obviously it's to their benefit that net neutrality fucking falls. I mean, they were happy when it fell, and they're like, oh, wow, now Comcast and Verizon and Time Warner and all the big ISPs can now start jacking the rates up, and like they just said, we're going to start seeing that. If this does not, go through, we're going to start seeing our internet bills go up. And not only that, all the services we use on the internet are going to increase in price.
Right, and we're probably going to start seeing it anyway, because at this point, he's just urging the FCC to do something. There's no teeth to it, of course. He can urge all he wants. He's probably going to start urging the military to close Guantanamo now that he has absolutely no legislative teeth anymore.
Yeah, no ability to do so, yeah. Oh, you're right. I mean, urging doesn't really mean anything. It's just like another word, like I want to help you, but what does help mean? I gave you $1, I helped you. You're still going to die, or still whatever's negative consequences are still going to happen. So sure.
One of his assistants. So, as I said, Randy, it could have the effect of keeping cable bills lower for all of us consumers.
All right.
And that's like, I hate the fact that we have to pander to people. This guy said Netflix like 9 times and just talked about internet prices as if that's all net neutrality is about, is the price of the internet and Netflix.
Yeah.
Like, no, net neutrality is about you being able to say what you want on the internet, to use the internet as a tool of change. That's what net neutrality is really about. It's not about how much it costs for the fucking internet. I mean, that's part of it. It's not about how much you pay for fucking Netflix. That's also part of it. But another part of it that we can't talk about because people would just tune out immediately is the fact that we can use the internet as an instrument of social change. We can say what we want without some corporation going, "Nope, don't want you saying that."
Well, that's what they did in China. They blocked Facebook, YouTube, and I believe they use a different form of Google there as well.
They have different social networks in China as well. And I mean, yeah, that's a major issue. Is like, and even our economy right now, a lot of the big companies have been started and they're online. And how can a company even possibly compete against a giant corporation if they're the gatekeepers at that point? Like the ISPs will have all the control. And if they have all the control, then like Paul was saying, they can control whatever message they want. Like, you know what? People are complaining or want to take to the streets. Let's just shut Twitter down or just stop their traffic flow. That's not a priority any longer.
Right.
It'll go down.
All right. So moving on to the next one. Apparently there were some ex-Nazi soldiers, or there are some ex-Nazi soldiers that are getting Social Security benefits from the United States. And here's a story about that.
Suspected Nazi war criminals, including some SS guards at concentration camps, death camps, have collected millions of dollars in U.S. Social Security benefits through a legal loophole. That, according to an Associated Press investigation. Worse yet, the government set up the system to encourage them to take the money and leave the country. It became known as Nazi dumping. Jakob Denzinger's story is typical. He was an SS guard notorious death camp in Auschwitz. After leaving Ohio in 1989, he's still collecting benefits in Germany.
So he left Germany, came to the United States. They
got rid of him basically.
Started getting Social Security benefits, and then moved back to Germany, and he still gets them.
Which makes no sense. I mean, clearly.
Denzinger's son confirmed it to the AP and says he deserves the benefits. This revelation compelled the New York Congresswoman Carolyn Maloney to introduce a bill to cut off their benefits. Congresswoman Maloney is joining us from New York. Are you outraged at the thought that the United States is actually paying suspected war criminals Social Security benefits? I assume the answer is yes.
Absolutely. I think I join every American taxpayer in being outraged that our dollars are being spent to support known Nazi war criminals and SS guards. It was against the law. We passed laws saying they should get no benefits and leave the country. But there's a loophole. The law said that they had to be deported, and some were denaturalized, some left of their own accord, and so they have continued to receive benefits. I have written...
So the ones that weren't deported got to keep their benefits? Is that what she's saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what the loophole is. Like, oh, I just left. I wasn't deported. So keep paying me the money because if it's in the law, they're still entitled to it.
The Justice Department, the Social Security Department, to give a full accounting of how much was spent, how much is being spent, how much is going to widows of these criminals, and I find it an outrage. I think this is something that we can all agree on in a Congress that is not known for a lot of areas that we agree.
I mean, is this really a relevant issue at this time? I mean, besides to point out that they shouldn't be getting the money?
Yeah, I mean,
Social Security. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, stop giving them the money. There we go.
Right.
What about the long-term sustainability of Social Security? Shouldn't that be a bigger issue than, hey, some assholes are getting some money? It's like, okay, we'll stop giving them the money. There you go.
Well, and I don't like, and I'm not coming to the defense of Nazi war criminals here, but I don't like the implication of like suspected war criminals. Like if they haven't been charged with any crimes, they're innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
So let's remember that. Let's just remember that not everybody that was involved, not everybody that was German at the time of World War II was a war criminal.
Yeah.
Right.
Of course.
All right, so
but it makes a good headline to say some Nazis are getting money.
Right.
Stop them.
Now that's going to be taken. That'll be a clip. Paul defends Nazis.
Yeah.
Yep.
Paul is a Nazi sympathizer.
Brett Keane will get a hold of that the next time he comes back to YouTube.
Paul attacked my family.
In addition to attacking my family, PaulsEgo is also a Nazi sympathizer.
And probably a Nazi And probably a Nazi himself.
Yeah.
So looks like we're sending military advisors to Iraq because of the whole ISIS thing. So this video is about Iraq welcoming more U.S. military advisors.
The addition of 1,500 U.S. troops into Iraq almost doubles America's presence there. They are not meant to be in a combat role, but rather continuing to advise and assist the Iraqi security forces and the Kurdish.
So we need, what, she said 1,500 doubled, so we need 3,000 advisors there?
They're strongly advising them to kill them.
Yeah.
I strongly advise
seen-
you.
There's a documentary called "This Is What Winning Looks Like." I think it's a Vice documentary, and it shows, this is in Afghanistan, I believe, but I can't imagine it's much better in Iraq.
Probably
it shows what an abject failure this whole advisory role is. That, like, you know, we'll give Afghanis, you know, a bunch of fuel, and then they steal it and sell it at the market because they're starving. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Of
so
course.
it's like,
here's an M6. I'm saying, here's an M16. You know, thanks. You know, I'm either going to keep it or I'm going to sell it. You know, it's not like it's much use to them, or like they really want to support the U.S. regimes.
Peshmerga also providing America with critical increased eyes on the ground when it comes to those coalition airstrikes. These troops are going to potentially be based perhaps in Al-Anbar province, some of them at least, and also potentially to the north in Taji, two key areas where ISIS has significant control. Al-Anbar province especially critical in that it is predominantly Sunni and in the past has historically been Al-Qaeda's key stomping ground. And when we look at Iraq's history, it was the Sunni tribes that allowed for the tide to turn against Al-Qaeda. And those Sunni tribes are going to be vital if ISIS is to, in fact, be defeated. That is one of the main reasons why the U.S. and others are putting a lot of pressure on the Iraqi government, led by Shia Prime Minister Haidar al-Abadi, to reach out to those Sunni
What a load of bullshit. We're going to defeat ISIS or ISIL. It's like, okay, no, you're not going to do that. All that's going to happen is you might beat them down, and then a new terrorist organization is going to spring up. We've seen this so many times.
Yeah, it's funny. We don't hear about Al-Qaeda anymore now that ISIS has come around. We don't hear about it as much as we used to. It's the new boogeyman.
We're certainly not going to defeat ISIS with 3,000 advisors.
No,
I mean that's not gonna do much. But yeah, you're right. It just you know, you lop the head off one. What is it? The old Hydra analogy?
Yeah.
Right.
You lop one head off and two spring back in its place.
The next clip is Rand Paul claiming that the war on ISIS is illegal.
In a piece for the Daily Beast, Rand Paul says that this war is now, his words, illegal, I guess, right? So what do you make of that?
Look, as hard as it can be for me to find myself agreeing with Rand Paul, and by the way, the blatant sort of broad Obama bashing in the piece aside, he's right. He's right. I mean, this is why we have checks and balances. This is why we have Congress. This is why we have a War Powers Act. I thought, and folks, I think, no, I thought it was wrong to be bombing ISIS anyway. It's going to make the situation worse, not better. There is no imminent threat, which is the kind of thing that would allow you to override the War Powers Act. Again, people need to know there is no imminent threat from ISIS. And so, look.
But you know that with anything in politics, that's so subjective. Imminent threat. You know, all Obama has to say, there's classified information that ISIS could do something to America. And who's really going to stand up and say, you know what? Don't do anything about it. That's political suicide, and we all know it.
Yeah, and what would, you know, if the president was a member of Rand Paul's party, would he disagree with it then?
Probably not, unless he's just thinking about his political aspirations. I mean, that's the main reason Rand Paul is even speaking on these matters. He's trying to put distance between himself and Obama and see how I want to do things differently. I mean, he's just thinking of 2016 is all he's thinking of.
He should have gone to Congress then. He should go to them now. I think the real question is whether Congress, especially in Republican control, will actually support the president, because they have this bad habit of opposing him doing things that they once demanded him to do, but then when he does them, they still manage to oppose him. It's sort of vexing, but there you have it.
Yeah, so we got 2 more videos, then we're going to take a break, then we'll move on to Q&A. Never tell someone else how to discipline their children because someone will punch you, apparently.
Very bad idea.
I think it's bullshit. Like, if you won't discipline your children and your children are acting crazy, I think you should expect other people to say something about it.
I think you're totally right, but you know how people in our society react, like children, and then suddenly it's like everyone's gonna side with them, like you shouldn't have interfered, you should have minded your own business, which is so weird because in so many instances, people want to get in everyone else's business, but then suddenly when it comes to their children, you know, your child's knocking over the display and destroying merchandise in the store. How dare you talk to my child? How dare you do your job and stop them from destroying, you know, property that doesn't belong to them?
Yeah, you don't know me. You don't know my kids.
Yeah.
Better back up.
Good.
Better back up. You don't know me or my kids. Leave me alone.
So here's something that happened in the parking lot of a department store.
Natalie Bree Hajek Richardson says she was in the checkout line of this Nordstrom rack in Colma when a child between the age of 4 and 6 began throwing a tantrum, a loud tantrum.
Didn't bother me that the child was throwing the tantrum, just, you know, the volume was very loud and it was hurting my ears.
Bree says she asked the child's mother to quiet the child down, but nicely. That's when things began going sideways.
She, you know, came to the side of me and told me not to tell our child what to do.
There it is right there. Don't tell my child what to do. Well, maybe if you would, no one else would have to.
Yeah, I wish you were doing that, is what I'm saying to you. I wish you were telling your child what to do or leading your child out of the store without me having to tell you that your child screaming at the top of its lungs is annoying.
Not only that, she didn't tell the child. She went to the mother and said, hey, will you please do something about this? So it doesn't even make any sense. Don't tell my child what to do. It's like, I didn't. I asked you.
Yeah.
Are you retarded? Do you not understand, like, the English language? Or is there some sort of problem with communication here? Do I need to draw a flow chart for you?
Flow chart.
I mean, what? I mean, I just don't understand. That's just fucking stupid.
And I told her that I didn't tell your child what to do. I, you know, asked you very nicely to calm down your child just a little bit.
Bree says she then told the mom off.
So I told her to go to hell, and she told me, I'll see you there.
When Bree left the store, she says the mom followed her to her car.
And was asking me, where'd you tell me to go? So I repeated again what I said to her and told her to go to hell.
In the top part of your screen, you can see a woman in a red shirt walking toward Bree before both end up on the asphalt.
Oh, okay.
Bree says she was punched.
Totally justified, right?
Oh, yeah.
Totally justified.
Tell someone to go to hell, you know, assault them. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. That's literal rape to tell somebody to go to hell. You're literally raping me.
I think this person needs to have more children because they're, you know, a model mother for all of the children in the world.
It's unfortunate, but if you do get into shit with some people, you know, you do have to be cognizant that some people will do this kind of shit to you. Like, they won't let it go. And it's not saying be paranoid, but I mean, you kind of clearly see that person walking up and their intention. It's like anyone that knows anything about human behavior knows, like, that person's not coming just to say, hey, you know, I strongly disagree with that sentiment, you know?
Right.
Twice in the face.
My teeth hurt, my elbow hurts, I got a bruise on my thighs.
Her gums are black and blue, and she may lose 3 of her teeth.
She may lose 3 of her teeth.
Yeah, she got jacked up.
Yeah.
Somebody's getting sued.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But even in the wake of the attack, defends her choice.
Do you think you have a right to tell other people what to do with their kids?
Not necessarily, but when, you know, it is getting that loud, you could, you know, quiet them down just a little bit.
I mean, we have the right to tell anyone we want what to do. Whether or not they listen is their choice. But, yes, we have the right to tell people what to do. It's their right not to listen if they choose. So, all right. Next video. Is Obama a closet conservative?
Oh.
And we've said here on the show, yeah.
Yeah, he kind of is, yeah.
Yeah. Not even really in the closet. He's like George Bush 2.0 in many ways.
Sure.
Bruce, why don't you start us off by explaining why Obama has governed as a Republican?
Well, I think if you just step back and ignore the partisan attacks
and look at the actual substance of his policies, he's kept foreign policy basically on the same track that it was on from the Bush administration. He even kept on Gates as the Secretary of Defense, and appointed Hillary Clinton as Secretary of State, even though she ran well to his right, at least on foreign policy, during the 2008 campaign. I think an honest assessment of the health care reform would show that it's essentially based on Republican ideas that came out of the Heritage Foundation, that were implemented by Mitt Romney himself up in Massachusetts.
There's point one.
I love that thing about Mitt Romney. How Mitt Romney ran so far away from that. Like, it was a disaster in Massachusetts. Like, actually, it was pretty successful there.
Yeah, and it continues to be.
Yeah.
I think he has shown a very great willingness to go along with Republicans on cutting the deficit. I could go on, but I really think that if you just step back and are honest about it, he's been what I would call essentially a liberal Republican as far as his governing policy is concerned.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I totally agree.
If you go back, 50 years, I think he would have fallen into that Republican aside from the fact that he's black, of course.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because politically everything's moved so far to the right that somebody that's a liberal now would have been a hardcore conservative in the 50s.
Right. I mean, I've even seen people plead the case that Reagan was more liberal than Obama in many ways. But I guess that's another topic for another time.
By historical standards, Fareed, the first 2 years of the Obama presidency were a period of legislative hyperactivity. An enormous amount was accomplished. You had a dramatic overhaul of the financial sector. You had progressives achieve a goal of universal coverage that they've been seeking to achieve for almost a century. You had also a dramatic...
Universal coverage?
No.
No, not at all.
It was a mandate. Wait a minute. Did he say they achieved the goal of universal coverage?
Yeah, that's what he was saying, but it was actually a mandate to buy private insurance.
What is this guy smoking is my first question.
Yeah.
The second question is, where can I get some of it?
Yeah.
Transformation of student loans, a variety of other things. So I think that this notion that President Obama hasn't accomplished much from the progressive side of the street seems very, very odd to me.
You
and I think
are
actually,
an idiot.
It frankly doesn't give him enough credit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
he passed ultra weak financial reform that is laughable on Wall Street. He passed a Republican plan from the Heritage Foundation. What progressive issue has he led on? All his campaign promises that were progressive he didn't do, or he followed the Bush timetable, like the withdrawal from Iraq. He followed Bush's timetable.
Or he knuckled under because one of his campaign promises was universal health care. And he knuckled under to the big insurance industry and mandated people purchase their insurance from them. That was a huge, can you imagine if we mandated, what business would not want people to mandate, would not want the government to mandate that people purchase their product?
Yeah,
you know
it's
what I
like
mean?
mandated car insurance.
Mandated, smartphones. You'll have to have
a giant wet kiss to the insurance agency and a piece of shit of legislation. But it has accomplished some good, but it's nowhere near what this guy said, universal coverage.
No.
Yeah, this isn't the NHS. This isn't like, the provincial healthcare system like they have in like Canada or something. It's not, or any pretty much like, any Western democracy really.
Right.
This isn't even close.
Yeah, so that's the last news clip we have. We'll take a quick break. Paul, did you want to come back for the Q&A?
Sure. If you guys would like to have me back, I'll stay.
Oh, sure, man.
Yeah, sure. We'll just leave the call active, or actually, no. We'll end the call and we'll call you back when we come back on the air.
Okay, fair enough.
All right, talk to you soon.
Peace.
All right, so we'll be right back.
Oh, the mic's muted.
Downtown, hobo on the ground, says he got a probe. No, I got my chode, but no, that's sick. If I want a dick, I can get a dick. And I like the metal sick with the little drip drip. face, and I know the satisfaction of a man. Don't get me wrong, waters the eyes, and baby doesn't turn me on. Like when a man tries to beat me, take off my hobo clothes, and then he tries to feed me, cracking them out, putting them out, sexual sound, make scream out. Then I'll be the hobo unit friends, talk about standing in the street, getting bent over a vent, looking forward to the probing experience. Get the move, dude, use it for the back in action, stick it in and watch the hobo's ass contraction. Hobo, 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 anal, 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 probing, 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 hobo, anal, probing. Chillin' at home, watching the tube, sorting a boner for the feeling of the hobos in the vicinity of the phone, feeling good, looking out the window. Looking down the alley for a dirty old hobo. Yeah, I like the anal probe and shoving like the dirty dozen. Says the ladies in the dress, baby's mama's daddy's cousin. Make me feel like a hobo, tie me down for anal probe and crossing over with blood running out my ass. You think it's funny? Take a look, you fucking bust you in the nuts like you're my lover. Fucking dirty hobo dick, it's also like the sucker drip. Think twice about your trip, the hobo probe with confidence. Building up the mean or something, only quite just fucking hobo, 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 anal, 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 anal. Robin, 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 hobo, anal, probing. Fuck that, I ain't no tool, bitch. I'm a hobo with two motherfucking fists and feel that rim shot, big cock in your mouth, fuck, thinking master the anal probe. Greasy, 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 grease it up. Stick it, stick it, stick it, stick it in. Slide it up and down, slide it up and down. Slide it all around. Greasy, 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 grease it up. Stick it, stick it, stick it, stick it in. Slide it up and down, slide it up and down. Slide it all around. Greasy, 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 grease it up. Stick it, stick it, stick it, stick it in. Slide it up and down, slide it up and down. Slide it all around. Greasy, 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 grease it up. Stick it, stick it, stick it, stick it in. Slide it up and down, slide it up and down. Slide it all around. Greasy, 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 grease it up. Stick it, stick it, stick it, stick it in. Slide it up and down, slide it up and down. Slide it all around. Hobo, 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 hobo. Anal, 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 anal. Robin, 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 Robin. Hobo, anal, probing. Tell me how to eat it right, how to save the flavor. All night with my peaches and cream on my body, I dream of you, girl. Tell me how to treat it right. I lick your pussy all night, and I am policing dreams with my face in your cream, with details to come. And I believe with your pussy, and I will eat your pussy clean. Tell me that you'll be my girl. Tell me that you'll be my world. Tell me that you'll be that slut in my dreams that I want you to be. Tell me that you'll suck my dick. Tell me that you'll lick, lick, lick. Tell me that you'll rock my cock like a whore and never stop. Never stop. Never stop. Tell me how to stick it right, how to poke you in the pokey and feel tight with my dick clean from your mouth servicing. Let's go, girl. be my girl. Tell me that you'll be my world. Tell me that you'll be that slut in my dreams that I wanted to be. Tell me that you'll suck my dick. Tell me that you'll lick, lick, lick. Tell me that you'll rock my cock like a whore and never stop. Never stop. Never stop. You know I'll wait for you to break your dawn. You know I'll wait by your window till the moon is undone. You know I'll wait by your back door down the scream until you come outside and see me while kids are making playing in the sun. Well, I got my rights, I pay my bills, I got my know-how. When I never like to get my hands dirty, I got it all figured out. When I never play out the game with a chick, not doing true change that bring me neither rich fucking no fame. Because I just want me a motherfucker, yeah. Thinking I just want me a motherfucker, yeah. Going to parties all night. The gates of our room fight. Saying I just want me a motherfucker, yeah. Thinking I just want me a motherfucker, yeah. Motherfucker am I? Motherfucker in my eyes. I don't care. Wanna be a mother? I just want me a motherfucker. I just want me a motherfucker. I just want me a motherfucker. I just want me a motherfucker, 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 motherfucker. I just want me a motherfucker, motherfucker, motherfucker. Came up with luck, and then she felt my nuts. She said she was as hard as me, and I was confused with that comment. I reached and grabbed her tits. She said, do me, baby, oh baby, do me, baby, ooh. Then she said, let me tie you to the bed. When I agreed happily, I was getting a piece. And when she was done, she pulled out her penis. When I started to scream, like she seen on me. She shit on my chest and rubbed my dick with it. She said, bitch, you better watch your size. Suck your cock clean. And with utter disgust, I was hard as fuck as she gobbled my novel with the shit still clinging to her chin as she started to begin. Eat my shit off my dick! And she started to moan like she was getting boned. She was a man, just a sitting in bed. I thought she could help me, set some of my demons free, until she made my ass bleed all night long. So I pissed on her face just to mark my place, and she giggled and laughed like she was all horny. crack cocaine like a whore. She smoked a little bit, admitted, smoked up all her shit. Now she can't even stand on her feet again. Dada beat her, mama fucked her for all she was worth. Now she can't even give birth to the child she wanted with the boy she adored. Because she's called the whore, she's called the whore. Now just see what she started. Joey always said she was a little thick in the hips, and she'd get wasted, try to have some kiss, and she'd fuck, 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 and she'd fuck. When she sat there crying, when her mother stood laughing, her dad held the coat hanger, when he twisted inside her, the penis fell to the floor. When he said, let's fuck some more. When she fuck, and she fuck, and she fuck, and she fuck, when she fuck, and 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 she fuck. And she said, don't speak to me. And she took off her shorts to clean up the blood on the floor. She soaked it up and drank it all like she's a vampire kid, never to be let in the light again. I know what I want and I want the feeling that nothing inside me. Cause I got nothing to lose, nothing to fear. The dead is there, say it's come here. So I look up, up to the sky. My eyes are burnt, and they open wide. The sun is good, bring me inside. Just inside will change my mind. My friends are made of nothing too. Don't get the fuck up and move! Looking around, I got no one to blame. Feeling so confused, no one to change. You're laying there with that look on your face, with my kick in your hand, and you can get it straight. And the tears come on, like come on. My emotion is gone when I see your mom. My friends are made of plastic too. Don't get the fuck up and move. When I feel like I was inside, why feel I must be dreaming? She just sits there screaming, better to the meter and I'm gonna do it right. The walls are closing in and I'm rocking out the right. Please opportunity with my community, gotta follow that seat. She's spinning to me. My friends are made of plastic too. Don't get the fuck up and move!
right, we are back.
Guess who's back? Back again.
Why don't we take a moment to talk about Patreon while I get Paul back on the line.
Okay. If you guys want to see a Drunken Peasant show minus the spam of the chat room and tons of idiots, become a patron.
Yes.
That's my sales pitch to you.
www.patreon.com/DP. And we're just getting Paul back on the line right now here before we go into our Q&A. Hey, Paul.
How's it going?
It's going good. The audio shit with Skype is ridiculous, so I'm
sorry for the length of the break. You know, Ben really was like, he's like, man, I got to get my cocaine fix. And I'm like, oh, man, you know, I thought you were on crack. He's like,
I totally understand that, man.
Yeah.
I had to go shoot heroin, and that takes, because I pass out every time I fucking shoot up. So that takes at least, 20 minutes to get me through one of those.
Oh, yeah, and you're probably going to be nodding the rest of the show. Hey, guys.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on with your camera. It hasn't come through yet.
Huh. Let me see.
It's a temporal distortion.
Turn it back on.
There you are. Okay.
Okay.
Hey. All right. You enjoying an adult beverage?
No, but I did make this a literal pan break, so
a
little,
right on.
Right on, man.
Slippery slope. You'll be doing heroin before we know it.
He was doing heroin.
I just admitted to doing
Yeah,
heroin.
he said he had his 20-minute nod. Said,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, what's up?
Your video's fucked up for some reason, but that's okay. We'll just go. We'll
Yeah,
move
just
on.
go with it.
All right. Let's see here. Oh, there you are.
Yeah.
Okay. So here we go. Q&A segment.
Hey, Drunken Peasants and possibly guests, I've got 2 questions, mostly to pad out the runtime of this. My first question is, if you could spend a week's holiday in a fictional universe, which one would you pick? Whether it's from video games or movies or TV shows like Adventure Time. Basically, where would you go on that week? And my...
Okay, so that's the first question. And by the way, Paul, this girl always draws women with big tits. All the
Awesome.
time. Yeah.
Yeah. We think so, too.
Yeah.
Did she draw most of the pictures of me? Because I had gigantic tits in most
No.
of the pictures of me.
No, I don't know if she did or not.
I don't know if she did one of you. I'll have to ask her.
There was one where my nipples were lactating that was particularly
Yeah.
lactating blood.
It was stimulating. Oh.
Yeah. Where would I go in a fictional society?
Well, if you could choose any society from fiction to live in temporarily, what would it be?
I think I'd go with like Crimea, or not Crimea. What am I thinking of?
I think Crimea is like in
yeah, that's the Crimean Peninsula
in Ukraine or something like
I was
that.
thinking of Crom. I want to go to Conan's realm, dude. To fucking tell me that wouldn't be amazing. You just to go out. Instead of going out like I know how I'm going to go out, like on a bed with a bunch of tubes running into me and dude, you know what I mean? Instead of going out like that, I could go out with a fucking battle axe, just hewing the flesh of my foes. Like, how amazing would that be?
Intertwined but facing each other.
I think my shirt manipulated you, Paul.
Yes.
I'm wearing the Conan the Barbarian shirt. It's like, oh, that's a good choice. What about you, Ben? Oh, yeah.
For me, yeah, that is, it's kind of ironic. For me, Star Trek.
Yeah, I was thinking Star Trek. I kind of thought Star Wars, and I'm like, well, maybe if I was the Emperor or something, that'd be cool, or like a Jedi or a Sith, but otherwise, I think it would just be kind of lame.
Being a Sith would suck because you'd have to watch your back not only from the rebellion, but also the people that are supposed to be on your side, because those Sith motherfuckers are killing each other all the time.
That is true, but I still think it'd be fun. I mean, plus you're only there for a week, you know what I mean?
In Star Trek, like, anybody can join Starfleet. Obviously, like, some people just become crewmen and some people become officers, but...
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I think I would probably choose Star Trek around the DS9 time frame.
Starting to question my sending myself to a barbarian realm now.
Yeah.
I don't know that I would do very well.
You'll
Like, I
be
don't know that
fine.
my glorious exit would last long enough for me to lop a single head. I'm thinking maybe Star Trek to get a really cheap gastric bypass surgery would be my better choice.
Yeah, I haven't seen too many instances of obesity on Star Trek whatsoever, so I figured they just like beam the fat out of you, you know?
Yeah, that's amazing.
They never covered how one uses the restroom there too, which leads me to believe that they just beam the shit out of you as well.
Plus, I wouldn't need to eat I wouldn't need to eat the way I eat. I could just go to the holodeck and have like 3 pizzas a week. You know what I mean? And everything.
Well,
that's true.
They have actually. Me and Scotty were talking about this. Like having a replicator. Not only can it make whatever food you want, it has whatever nutritional value you want and still tastes like the real thing. But also, you could be like, you could ask it to make you pretty much anything, and it would make it for you.
I could eat a family-sized pepperoni and jalapeno and have it be like 3 pounds of broccoli.
Exactly.
But taste like a family-sized pepperoni and jalapeno.
Yeah.
Yes.
Got it.
Yes. And then, like, it goes without saying, the whole holodeck thing, basically you could have, like, Roman-style banquet/orgies in that thing. I always felt bad for whoever has to mop up the holodeck.
Right.
They probably have little robots that just do it.
There's lots of jizz on the floor of the holodeck.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, and they don't even, like, they talk about it like, going to the holodeck to get laid, basically.
Oh, yeah, you see that on DS9 all the time.
No one frowns upon anyone for doing that, too. They're like, yeah, sure, have some sex with some holograms.
Well, it's a computer program. Who's it really harming?
The only time they got mad was when the one guy was, like, having holodeck sex with holograms that looked like people that were actually on the ship. And then people got mad. It's like,
it's not really them.
Yeah.
I guess it's kind of creepy, but whatever.
All right, so I guess she had another question, too.
Second question is, what is the weirdest, creepiest, most bizarre dream you've ever had? Whether it's something surreal or just benign, what are your types of dreams? Thanks, no worries.
I'm almost afraid to talk about dreams, honestly.
You have good ones?
Well, you have good ones, you have weird ones, you have ones that are scary. But
I told this one before on my channel, but I had a dream when I was a kid that I went to the Epcot Center, the big dome thing in Florida. I had a dream that I went there and had to shit really bad, and I was like, "Ma, I gotta shit. Like I gotta take a poop. Could you please, So my mom helps me find a little boy's room, and I go and I sit down on the bowl to start to shit. And I think that this happened because your body can't let you shit while you're sleeping. Like there are natural kind of hormones in place to keep you from doing that. And so I think my body had to think of the most ridiculous thing. And so what happened is my fucking toilet started raising up, and I started hearing circus music, like, and all of a sudden I raised up out of the bathroom, and I was inside of the Epcot Center, and there was a like a roller coaster track, and I'm sitting on this toilet, like holding on for dear life as I'm going around on this roller coaster, and I'm looking at the people as I pass by, and they're all laughing at me. They're all like pointing and going, ah, ha, 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 ha. And I'm just like, no. That's probably the most disturbing dream I ever had in my entire life.
It's a pretty fucking disturbing dream.
Yeah.
What about you, Ben? Do you have any?
I don't know. I don't even want to go into it, honestly.
I think Ben's pleading the fifth.
Come on.
Yeah.
Oh, no, Ben. You got to do it. You can't. You got to do it. Do it for the show. Do it for chat.
Do it. Do it now.
I had a dream that I had period sex with Barbara Bush.
Oh, man.
Oh, my fucking God.
I don't think I would bother saying anything at this point, because I don't think I can top it.
No, now you have to.
I honestly don't have crazy dreams. The craziest dreams I ever have.
You beat me. You beat me with one sentence.
Yeah.
How fucking dare you?
That's what I'm saying. Like, what am I gonna say that's gonna top that? Was it good?
I don't even know how she was still having her period, but yes.
Did you enjoy it, Ben?
Yeah,
I had period sex with Barbara Bush. How do you fucking top that? You don't.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, what the fuck do I go from here? Like,
you can top it by having period sex with both Barbara and Laura Bush at the same time.
Sure, that was my dream.
Oh, Jesus.
All right.
We should have made Ben go last. Go first.
Hello, Scotty, TJ, and Ben. My name is Joshua Mattingly, hailing from the glorious city of Stillwater, Minnesota. Okay, so my two questions for you are: what do you think of Marvel's reveal of the new Phase 3 movies? And second question is, what do you?
Oh, hold on.
What?
I'm sorry, I have no idea what the fuck this man is talking about.
Yeah, I know. It's like, what?
I didn't catch it.
Something about Marvel.
If all three of us missed it, we should probably just move on to his second question.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably a good. Sorry, bro. I have no idea.
Yeah, we don't know what you're saying.
I wanted to help you out, but
What villains do you think they'll implement in the new movies? Personally, I think Adam Warlock and Galactus have a strong chance in appearing.
Oh, he's asking what characters will show up in the new Marvel movies.
now I feel awful. I have to get it out there. Now I feel awful because this man clearly has some sort of a speech impediment, and we were totally shitting on him.
We do that all the time. It's fine.
Yeah, so he's talking about the Infinity War movies with the Avengers and the X-Men and all of them all combined. I'm hoping personally for a lot of Thanos, because Thanos is my favorite Marvel villain of all time. So I don't know how. What was that?
I said they teased him in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, they've been teasing him. Yeah, they teased him in fucking Thor too, I think. But anyway, I'm totally stoked for some Thanos. So that's my answer.
That's pretty much what I've been thinking of too. I've been like, man, I really want to see what's going to happen with that. But I mean,
He mentioned Adam Warlock too, which Adam Warlock was a big character in the Infinity Gauntlet story, so they shouldn't leave him out. I have a feeling they may, but who knows? Yeah,
you never know with Marvel does when they translate to the screen. I mean, they're already changing. Ultron, is now being created by Tony Stark. You know what I mean? So they're obviously going to make changes.
Huh.
I'm excited for the next X-Men movie as well, because Apocalypse is supposed to be in it, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it does look really cool.
That is going to be pretty fucking cool.
All right, we'll move on to the next one here.
That's all I can say. That's going to be sweet.
That's going to be sweet.
Good evening, Drunken Peasants. PaulsEgo. Hope you guys are doing well. I have two quick questions.
Terrible.
I know YouTube is very different than it was back in the day.
No,
but can you give some advice on how to gain subscribers in today's YouTube without being a total dickhead
Pull
cunt
yourself out
and sneaking your
to the
own free
masses.
plug party into the questions on here?
Fuck your way to the top. There you go.
Yeah, that's exactly it, man. You got to find a big YouTuber, somehow become friends with that YouTuber, and then just start sucking the D until you get a shout out. That's the only way.
The funny thing is that really is pretty much the truth. Like, that's how I've seen so many people leverage things on YouTube. Is like, they'll move to Los Angeles, they'll kiss enough ass for some big YouTuber with like 1 million subscribers, and like, oh, I'm gonna shout out my buddy here, and then their subs just go.
Yep.
We've all seen that game.
That's honestly the only reason I have any subscribers on YouTube. I've been shouted out and sucked a lot of dick. So.
Oh, there you go.
I mean, what are you gonna do?
The other one is
whatever works.
The other one is be a hot chick and
play
show
games.
your tits.
Yeah, and play games.
Basically, like SS Sniper Wolf.
You could pull your vagina. Yeah, just put your vagina on screen and be hot.
An unadulterated image of just like, this is a vagina, and people are like, oh.
And also, what do you guys think of this season of South Park? Only 4 episodes left.
I don't. Is it just me, or have they, cut the amount of episodes they do in half per season now?
I haven't. I got to be honest. I haven't really watched an episode of South Park in probably a year. I mean, I'm sure it's still good, but I really haven't watched any, like none this year.
I saw one that was pretty good. It was like where Timmy made his service to compete with the taxi company. It was basically they're commenting on the Uber situation, and that was a pretty good episode. But that's the only one I've actually seen this whole season. So that's all I can say.
I always like South Park, but it kind of seems like they're putting out less and less episodes over the last few years. And last season, I thought it was because they were working hard on Stick of Truth, but I'm really not sure why they have so few.
They have a case of I'm really fucking rich-itis.
Yeah.
Right.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night. Keep up the great work, and smoke pan every day.
Oh.
I bet.
Druggy.
I'm sure that was tobacco.
Yeah, clearly it's tobacco.
Yeah, no, clearly it's tobacco. You can
because
tell.
when they sell those pipes in stores, they say that it's only for tobacco use. And
tobacco pipe only.
Yeah,
of course.
That's what that is.
Yes.
Hello, Drunken Peasants. My question for today is, if Al Gore had won the president election...
He said Al Gore?
Al Gore, yeah.
Wow, that's going back pretty far now.
Yeah, that's going back. Ooh.
How do you think the world would look right now, and definitely how would America look like right now, instead of all the rednecks and all the...
Okay, well, Al Gore...
There's going to be rednecks regardless.
Yeah, Al Gore would not have rounded up the rednecks into death camps or anything like that.
Put him a death camp.
Unfortunately, no. Yeah, no, there would still be a bunch of fucking hillbillies.
Yeah, of course.
In fact, Al Gore's pretty southern himself.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course.
He's pretty redneck.
He's from Tennessee. I mean, come on.
But how would it be different? I don't think that Al Gore would have taken us to war with Iraq after 9/11.
Probably
assuming that 9/11 still happened under a Gore presidency.
Yeah, that's true.
Because he may have paid better attention to the warnings he was getting. Who knows?
More strict environmental regulations as well.
Oh,
probably, judging from his philanthropical work. Yeah, I don't know. I think those would be the big differences, and we could extrapolate out, well, how would America be different if we'd never gotten involved in Iraq? We certainly have a lot more money to be spending on other things.
Yeah.
Tacos rule.
In my plan, we'll have a lockbox.
And inside that lockbox is another lockbox.
The lockbox will have 2 locks.
gases and fossil fuels that are being used. Thank you for answering, and one more thing.
Fuck you!
Yeah!
Oh, what a son of a bitch.
Ben already knew this, though.
Of course,
sure.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. All right, next one.
There's no fooling Ben.
Hello again, Drunken Peasants, and if you have a guest tonight, hello to you as well. Have you heard of the magnetospheric multi-scale mission? Essentially, it's a project by NASA which began, I think, around 2006 with the intent of studying portals in space known as electron diffusion regions. These are mysterious portals which seem to variably appear connecting the Earth's magnetosphere and the Sun's atmosphere, which is a range of about 150 kilometers or 93 million miles. The phenomenon has to do with solar flares, which are known to cause problems with our electronic systems. The mission is set to send probes out to the Earth's magnetosphere and observe these portals in space. In the description of this video, I've included some links which will be more helpful to you and the fans. I figure this might be interesting to bring up, especially because the mission itself is supposed to take flight this year, so this might be newsworthy stuff. I'll throw in...
Okay. I did not.
What the fuck is he talking about?
Science stuff. I don't even. I've never heard of it before, and I really honestly don't have an opinion on it.
Yeah, I would have to actually know something about it to comment on it. I mean, like, I kind of understand what he's talking about, but.
You ever just wish that you were Thunderfoot for a second?
Yeah.
And could like have an intelligent answer to any of the questions that this young man brought up?
None of us here are physicists, so You're kind of barking up the wrong tree, unfortunately.
And I've never heard of this mission, so I apologize.
We are dumb. Sorry.
Yeah. Apologize for being stupid.
Hey, Drunken Peasants.
Oh, fuck yeah.
What do you think America...
Weak it. Weak it.
That kid's tobacco was crazy.
Yeah. He's wearing a Star Trek uniform.
That big tobacco hit he took was nuts. And it was a weak-ass hit, too.
That was like... That was a weak hit.
Tiny little, like, no smoke came out after you inhaled it. Come on, buddy.
If I saw, like, the plume, you know what I mean, then I would have believed it. But
right.
That was a pretty weak hit.
Let's go one more time. What do you think America should be doing for the sake of humanity? And did you like the Next Generation movies? I personally, I keep saying I thought the characters were bad, didn't follow the show. Right, let's go.
So
they are very. They must be having a tobacco rush to their brains or something.
Yeah,
you know,
nicotine buzz.
The Star Trek movies, you know, they were made by Hollywood studios. They had to put a Hollywood flair, and yes, of course, there's inconsistencies.
Oh, sure, especially in the first film.
But I still like them, and I wish that they'd make more of them, more with the Next Generation cast rather than the J.J. Abrams new ones. I really didn't like those, honestly.
I'll be honest with you. Like, I don't really remember many of the Next Generation movies, but I do remember the one with Whoopi Goldberg in it, and I liked that one.
Yeah, that was Generations.
Yeah, I liked that when she goes in there and she accuses him of being just another Captain Ahab going after his whale, and he says, "No! The line must be drawn here! This far, no further!" That's quality fucking acting right there. That's quality Next Generation.
I would say me and TJ were driving to Ben's house one day, and it's like, you know what? Patrick Stewart has it so fucking easy, because if someone else said to you, make it so, you'd be like, what a fucking asshole. But if Patrick Stewart says it to you, you're like, oh, okay, I'll do it.
Right.
And I was like, that is a good point.
Yeah. He also ages very well, because he started off looking way older than his actual age, and now he actually looks the age
he
used
bathes
to.
in the blood of virgins.
Exactly.
Yep.
All right, next question.
Hey, Drunken Peasants, Teddy's Reddy's here, and I have a question for you. Just one question. Do you believe fault and choice are bullshit words from a bullshit species? I believe they are, because they're just, you know, we really have no control of where we ended up in our lives, or what we've learned or been taught or been exposed to, and things like that. I mean, like, we're all just victims of our own lives. If you truly deep from nothing, you know, just blank slates, and whatever, wherever we're born from, whatever, you know, all of our life situations, all the things we learn, people that influence us, other things like that. Not all of us get the same fucking things, obviously, or because we always have different fucking ideas and shit, you know. I mean, fuck.
Okay, I'm having trouble following.
I am. This is a train of thought that I gotta admit, I'm having trouble following as well. I think I kind of was understanding what he was saying, and then I definitely wasn't for a while there, and then kind of coming back to maybe understanding a little bit, but there's a big chunk right in the middle that I didn't get.
Okay.
You know, this is like the plane leaves the airport, you know, and it's full of passengers, and then it lands, and half the passengers are gone. It's like, what happened? You know, we're kind of struck.
I feel like 90% of our answers to people are like, what? What the fuck are you even talking
that's
about?
so common. To be honest with you, that's so common.
Is it?
All right.
We're just like, I don't know, dude. I mean, like, I kind of follow you, but I don't really want to give you an answer that if I misinterpret or misunderstand what you're saying. So
let's listen to the rest of it.
And yeah, so I'm just wondering, like, deep down, do you really believe you have a choice, or do you think it's just a combination of what you've been taught and learned, what you think is morally right? And of course it is. I mean, there's really no argument for it. I think that, you know, a murderer's fault, a fault of a murderer isn't really a murderer's fault. A murderer isn't born a murderer. You know, a murderer is conditioned and shaped and formed to be a murderer throughout life.
it's still their choice to ultimately commit murder.
Yeah, that's not necessarily true either. I mean, sometimes, if you hit someone with a car and you're just looking down, for a fucking cheeseburger, does that make you? Is that the same thing? You know what I mean? You still murdered them, but that you had no intention of doing it.
Right.
I think this is kind of a flawed worldview, to be honest with you, in my opinion.
Well, I think it's a question where the answer doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
It's the nature versus nurture question, and whether or not we have freedom of choice. It's the whole free will versus no free will argument. It's whether we have the freedom of choice or whether we're just the sum of all of our experiences. It doesn't really matter. I mean, whichever way it is, that's the way it is.
True enough. Yeah.
It's one of those things that, like this guy earlier on was like, shit, fuck, goddamn, fuck. You can choose to look at it that way, or you can choose to look at it like, it doesn't matter. We have to deal with the consequences, whatever the answer is.
Some shit fucked him up throughout his whole life. It wasn't, his fault that he got put through any of that shit, and then turned out being the way he was. I do understand there should be repercussions for the action, and sometimes people are too far to be saved, but I'm just saying that I don't believe that fault is really a proper word to use in that term or that context, or in any context, really.
I don't know if I agree.
There's really just no way to know that, and like Paul said, even if you could definitively determine that, it's not going to change reality.
Yeah, so we'll move on to the next one.
Yeah.
Hey, Drunken Peasants, which one of these do you think will happen first in the future? That we'll run out of fossil fuels before we develop technology to replace them?
When I first listened to this question, I was kind of under the impression that we already do have technology to replace them.
I would say to some degree that's true. I don't know if we have
We just haven't developed any technology to the point where we could just shut the gas valve off tomorrow.
Yeah,
I think that's what it's saying.
Yeah.
Or we will develop technology to replace fossil fuels before we run out? Or do you think the world will become unsustainable by humans because of the usage and burning of fossil fuels?
That's a tough question.
I think I'm going to take the the positivity road here. I think that we will develop some replacement for fossil fuels before we run completely dry of it on the planet. I do think that there will be a period of major shortage that kickstarts it, but I think that human beings as a race are ingenious enough to come up with something or to develop our existing technologies before it completely runs out and leaves us stranded.
I would agree with that.
I mean, essentially what you're saying is true. I mean, right now, because a number of places in the world, like Europe and the United States, economies are kind of depressed, and the shale boom that's going on, in places like North Dakota. I mean, we've been kind of lucky right now because oil prices are low, but I mean, it's still not really sustainable by any stretch of the imagination. So I mean, I hope we develop the new technologies. I mean, one big challenge right now is with the electricity is obviously how we generate electricity and how we store it. The battery technology still has to come a long way, and I mean, and that's just one way of looking at it is the electric car route, which is just one part of the issue. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't really know. I think a lot of people right now are looking at solar as really kind of the solution to our everyday energy needs. But
right, have you guys seen the solar roads thing?
Oh God, such a horrible idea.
Such a terrible fucking idea. But I mean, at least they're trying,
Yeah.
At least they're doing. At least they're trying to advance the technology. But yeah, I don't think we're close to having a solar panel that can withstand thousands of cars a minute.
No.
Yeah, Thunderfoot made a video series about how that's not practical.
It's bunk science.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, or cost effective in any way.
Yeah.
Hey, Drunken Peasants. So last podcast, you guys were talking about rape fantasy and how there's something wrong with rape fantasy, which I completely agree with. But do you think that writing fan fiction or fiction about someone who is a real person, like a famous superstar, like I don't fucking know, like
Barbara Bush,
Justin Bieber or some shit like
Ben's
do you
ultimate
think
fantasy.
that if someone writes a piece of fiction about them and publishes it on the internet about Justin Bieber getting like pounded in the ass and it being like really sexually explicit, do you think that is exploiting that Justin Bieber in that way? Do you think that that is wrong?
No, because it's fiction. I don't think writing fiction of any sort.
The main reason they're doing it about famous people is because they want attention. But I mean, if Justin Bieber is not actually getting pounded in the ass, then I really don't see the harm. I mean, it's kind of a victimless, crime at that point.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to engage in the slippery slope, but at what point do we make it illegal to criticize, a sitting politician? Because it might undermine their ability to serve the country. You know what I mean? Like, it's just fiction. It falls well under free speech. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
Hello, Drunken Fox. I have two questions for you guys. First question, even though I hate how everybody's been asking video game questions lately, I noticed that TJ had an emblem of Hyrule in the background in one video. So,
very
what
perceptive.
Zelda games have you played, and which one's your favorite?
All right, so I've played pretty much all of them except for the CDI ones, and I saw
the best ones. You idiot!
I know.
How dare you?
The pinnacle of the series, Ben.
Yeah, I saw Angry Video Game Nerd do a review of them, and God, they look so fucking awful. Even the cutscenes and the voice acting and how up is jump. You never on a regular up down left right D-pad situation. You never
Up
want
is never jump.
right.
No.
Never. Under any circumstances is up jump. Ever.
The CDI was such a terrible idea and a terrible system, and the implementation and the programming was just awful.
Not in an action game. In a fighting game, up is jump.
Yes.
In an action game where you're moving around in a pseudo 3D, up is never jump. But what was your favorite, Ben?
I would probably say A Link to the Past. I like the overhead view. I liked Ocarina of Time as well.
That's my favorite.
But dating myself, I would showing to the world how old I am. I would take Link to the Past.
I'm gonna get crucified in the chat for this, but I really loved the Wind Waker. Wind Waker's my favorite Zelda.
Is that the one where you're in the boat?
Blasphemy!
Yes.
You know, I liked that one too. Hyrule's all flooded.
Yeah. And you gotta go like you get treasures, from the crane, and you've got a little fish guy that goes hello. He jumps into your boat and fills in your map for you. It was good all around.
We don't need your shoddy justifications. No, I've never played that. I've never played that one, so I can't comment on it.
Do you have a favorite?
Oh yeah, I said Ocarina.
Oh, okay. All right. Next one.
Hello, Drunken Peasants. I know it's early for this question, but my question for you is, what are your thoughts for the presidential election of 2016?
It's not really early because as soon as the midterm elections end, the presidential race pretty much begins at that point. It's really hard to call, honestly, because there may even be some people that aren't even really on the political spectrum at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Like Obama came out of nowhere, pretty much.
I mean, if you had to call somebody who is on the spectrum right now, though, who would it be? Who do you think the candidates are going to end up being? Somebody that is on the radar.
It's really hard to say. I know who I think it should be. Like, for instance, for the Republicans, it should be Kasich, the governor of Ohio, because he pretty much swept Ohio in the last election. Ohio is the state that you need to win the presidency. So why not pick the Republican that swept the state in the gubernatorial election? As far as Democrats go, fuck. I really have no idea.
That's a total open field. The only person they're even mentioning at this point is Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
And I would say go ahead.
I'm thinking for the sake of argument, it probably will be Hillary on the Democratic side. I think it's just kind of ordained already that she's going to finally get her run. And I think that in response to that, the Republicans are going to have to run I think they know that, and I think they're going to have to run a Latino. So I think it's going to be Marco Rubio or Ted Cruz. Probably Marco Rubio.
Oh, I think Ted Cruz would be a horrible choice.
Ted Cruz was born in Canada, so there's a lot of and his
deport him.
He was born in Canada, and his father was a Cuban citizen. So I don't know if he even qualifies to run for president.
I think we need to deport him back to Canada. Let them deal with him.
But it's funny, like any conservative that believes Obama was born in Kenya, but would still vote for Ted Cruz is a fucking hypocrite.
Oh, for sure.
Because we know for a fact that Ted Cruz wasn't born in the United States, and both of his parents were not natural born citizens.
Nope.
So
yeah, I think that does preclude. I don't think you can be, as the rules stand now, from somewhere else. So
no.
I did not know that.
Yep.
That precludes them.
Yep.
But last year he did like all you have to do is to remove your Canadian citizenship, because he had it for years. Was what he did is he just did a form online like, oh, I was never a Canadian, or like I guess he was a Canadian citizen, but I think he's trying to claim he somehow is still a natural born U.S. citizen. Just to, like the fucking semantics and rigmarole and all that shit. But
got it.
All right, next question.
Hey, Drunken
Oh no, I
Peasants.
already did that one.
Hey, Drunken Peasants, I have 3 questions for you guys tonight. My first question is, what do you guys think of the new Star Wars title, The Force Awakens? I think it's pretty sweet.
How do you feel about it? The Force Awakens sounded kind of generic when I first heard it.
Oh man, I don't know how to feel about the whole fucking idea of a new Star Wars movie. Like, on one hand, it's Disney's taken it over, and Disney has cranked out a lot of quality like lately. But on the other hand, it's fucking Star Wars. Like,
that's how I felt about the Star Trek movies, and ironically enough, it's the same director.
Oh,
man,
The Force Awakens. Like, okay, wasn't the Force already awake?
Yeah. When did it go to sleep?
Because this is after, right? This is after the main trilogy. They're going to have to do it after, because there's no way they're going to, make Carrie Fisher look young again.
She lost like 100 pounds.
Maybe they're
though.
saying it's like a Jedi Renaissance or something.
Are they gonna
Maybe
say?
so.
Are they
I don't
gonna
know.
say all the midichlorians took a nap?
Yeah. Oh man, that was. Oh, why'd you even bring up midichlorians?
You can't even mention the word midichlorian around TJ.
He'll just go fly into a rage.
Yeah. It took all of the mysticism out of Star Wars. And it's funny because like we're all atheists, but in our fiction we like a little bit of mysticism.
Sure. Yeah. What's wrong with a little bit of mysticism? Yeah. No, midichlorians was a terrible idea. I hope it dies with that film.
We must come up with a scientific explanation for the Force. No, you don't. You don't have to. That's like coming up with a scientific explanation for Gandalf's powers.
Right.
Oh, that'd be terrible if they ever did that.
Do you guys think it would be better than the prequel movies?
Yes.
Yes.
It's
undoubtedly.
It's hard for me to say that a movie that I've never seen will be better than any movie that actually exists, but I feel confident.
Lucas fucked up the prequel so badly that there's almost no way I can envision it being worse.
Yeah, there's no way that they could take that away from Lucas and have that be a net negative for the series. They could have literally had a bunch of like monkeys write this script, and it's going to be better than the prequels.
What if they had like Shia LaBeouf as one of the stars of it, or
still
something
be better?
Yeah,
it'd still be better.
Okay,
it'd still be better. Yeah, Shia LaBeouf. If they remade the original like A New Hope with Shia LaBeouf as Luke Skywalker, would be better than the prequels.
My second question is, what do you guys think of the Nostalgia Critic's newest videos? And question number 3 is...
I've watched him before, but I haven't seen his latest videos. But I like his stuff that I've seen.
His older stuff. I've seen a lot of his older stuff, but I haven't seen a video of his in a long time.
What do you think of Peter Capaldi as the 12th Doctor? Thanks.
I don't really watch Doctor Who. I've watched it a few times. I know there's a bunch of doctors, but I don't have an opinion on that.
Haven't ever watched it, so...
Yeah, this is one of those ones where we need TJ, because I haven't I know TJ from his Tumblr watches Doctor Who and has an opinion about Peter
he
Capaldi,
definitely
but,
watches it. Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't watched it either. So sorry.
That asshole ain't here. Fuck you, TJ.
Yeah.
Ban TJ. Hashtag ban TJ.
I got yet another question for you, arsehole.
Here she is again. She sends so many questions I can't even limit it to one per show.
Wow.
When you were a little kid, barely a babby, what was your favorite story? Whether it was told for a movie, TV series, or a book, basically, what story did you like hearing the most? And what are your thoughts on it now that you're an adult? I was a pretty big fan of Ferdinand and Little Red Riding Hood, so what was yours?
Shameless self-promotion.
Yeah.
That's a really good question. My grandpa used to tell this story about how he had an elephant that lived in his pants, and would I pull on the trunk?
It squirt milk out.
Yeah, and then like it would squirt milk out. That was a pretty fun story. I liked that one a lot. But yeah, as far as like the mainstream kind of fairy tales, I think Humpty Dumpty was my favorite one. There's a video of me just like laughing my ass off to Humpty Dumpty when I was a toddler, just barely babble talking, you know what I mean? My mom reading me Humpty Dumpty, and every time he took a great fall, I laughed my ass off. So I'd say Humpty Dumpty. And as an adult, I'm still down with some Humpty Dumpty. It's still a funny ass story. The big fat ass sitting on a wall and falls off, and they can't put him together again.
Yeah, I kind of laughed from Jack and the Beanstalk when the fucking giant just like fell down the beanstalk and fell down and died. I thought that was pretty funny too.
Yeah, that's good shit.
Yeah, I like that one. I also like, because I used to have a book of Grimm's fairy tales, that, you know, the not so PG versions of them. And I even liked the Cinderella story because they got the glass slipper, and the one stepsister, the bitchy stepsister, her feet were way too big to wear the glass slipper, so she cut her fucking toes off to make it fit. I was like, yeah, it's awesome.
That's fucking hot.
Yeah. Yeah, toeless feet.
Ben reveals his foot fetish.
Barbara Bush on her period.
The things I actually grew up watching was my favorite Disney movie was Sleeping Beauty, and then I also like Donald and Math Magic Land. Those are the things that I watched repeatedly. Like I can even remember like my mom just telling me all the time, like, you used to wake me up in the middle of the night, and apparently I had to watch these movies over and over again, so I have to go with those.
Huh.
Right. Next question.
Hey, it's TJ's for Adorable. My question to you guys is, which feminist do you despise the most?
Which feminist do we despise the most? I don't really know if I necessarily like despise them.
Probably the one I dislike the most is that's easy. It's definitely Anita Sarkeesian, because she's so disingenuous. Okay, TJ's calling me.
I'm gonna go with Big Red.
Calling me, TJ.
I'm not a fan of Emma Watson either. The whole coffee means fucking.
Yeah, coffee means fucking. That one sucks.
Yeah.
But Big Red has got to be the worst. I mean, come
I
on.
don't even know who that is.
Who is that?
She's the one that's like, I'm trying to read, fuckface.
Oh, okay. We all instantly like, ding.
I was so not interested in knowing what her name was that I did not seek her out.
They call her Big Red. I think she's my least favorite. I think if I had to spend like an evening with one feminist, my last choice, the last kid picked on the team would be Big Red. So there you go. She'd probably feel the same way about me, so it's mutual.
All right. We got 3 more left. Here we go.
Hey, Drunken Peasants. Should 2 consenting underage people be able to have sex? In other words, how do you feel about statutory rape? Thank you, guys.
Yes. I mean... Oh, man.
I mean, how are you proposing we stop them from having sex?
Exactly.
Is the question. Like,
and then...
let's say I say no. How would you prevent 2 consenting?
Hey, TJ says he wants me to put him on speakerphone. All right, I'm putting you on speakerphone. Say your piece, bitch. And Ben, you all a bunch of faggots. You suck. The end. This show is fucking way better without you, TJ.
Yeah, I know.
You've actually been banned. Oh, he hung up. He knows he said shit. Fuck you, TJ. You fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
You're all a bunch of faggots.
These whippersnappers get on this show and think they can talk their blibbity blam? No, better than TJ they can't.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, so back to the question.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a total aside, but yeah, it's cool.
No, I don't think there's any way to stop two consenting
Teenagers or whatever.
Teenagers,
from having sex, so there's no reason in trying to make it illegal.
He also said something about statutory rape. What about like a 16-year-old and an 18-year-old?
That's still still in some places I think be considered statutory rape, so.
In some places, in other places they have like a 3-year rule, because I was 18 in high school, and that would have meant like anybody under 18 would have been off limits for me.
What was Ben doing in high school?
Yeah.
Was Ben taking advantage of 16-year-old girls? What kind of person is Ben? Scotty for president.
Was Ben attacking my family?
I was.
Oh, Ben definitely. I remember I finally, like, one time when he said that or something, I'm just like, fuck Brett Keene's family.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what, if he's going to say that.
Yeah.
As far as I understand, Brett Keane attacked people from his own family himself. So.
Oh.
Damn. Damn.
Damn, Negro, that's
Damn.
cold.
Damn, Ben, that's cold-blooded, yo. Sorry.
Is that not true?
No, I think you're actually right.
Yeah, I think that is
Okay.
accurate.
All right, next question.
Hello, everyone. I just got a question concerning the Vigilant Christians Illuminati stuff. I was wondering if any of you guys thought it would be more credible or gain a little bit more traction if you didn't insist on shoehorning God and the devil and demons and all the supernatural nonsense into it.
No.
No.
No, I
Not
don't
at
think
all.
so.
The only thing that
Not
would
even one iota.
The only thing that
The
would convince
presence of
me-
one or the other does not make any of those premises less bullshit. So yeah, if you removed the Illuminati shit, I wouldn't think that it made his religious shit any more credible, and vice versa.
Yeah.
All right. Let me see. He might have something else to say too.
And if you just boiled it down to, greedy rich assholes trying to take over, trying to be greedy rich assholes like we all know they can be.
That's not what he's saying at all.
You guys think he could actually...
You're basically saying if he had a totally different position, we could potentially agree with him. Well, if he had a position that I agreed with and there was evidence and it made sense, then sure, but that's not what we're talking about.
Right.
So it's kind of a moot point.
All right. Next one.
Hey, Drunken Peasants, how you guys doing this evening? I have 2 questions for you this evening.
Ben.
Number one, how long do you think it...
What?
Why do you keep taking questions from this guy?
I don't know. He sends in questions.
We need to give other people a chance.
I give everyone a chance, honestly. Unless they have music playing, or the question is just totally incoherent.
Hashtag ban egghead. I had to do it. Sorry, buddy.
Will actually take for
egghead?
Same-sex marriage to be...
Yeah, ironically enough,
TJ named him egghead. I
yeah,
think.
he said he looks like Humpty Dumpty because he has a big egg-like head. Apparently.
Oh, that's why I like him. Hashtag unban egghead.
No, ban him. Ban him. This is gonna be some Hatfield McCoy shit, Paul.
Yeah, I'll legalize the United States of America. And number 2...
I don't even know what his question was.
Yeah.
Let's back it up.
Hey, Drunken Peasants, how you guys doing this evening? I have 2 questions for you this evening. Number one, how long do you think it will actually take for same-sex marriage to be all legalized in the United States of America? And number 2...
And my question is for...
Who is this guy? I don't trust him. Looks squirrely.
You want to answer his first question?
Looks squirrely.
How long? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't even know how to start commenting on how long it's going to be before. I mean, I think it's going to happen pretty quickly. Since the millennium, something. How many states is it legal in again? Fuck.
I think like
We have
25
the
or
Google.
26 or something.
So yeah, I don't think it's going to be much longer. That's my
if it goes
answer.
to the Supreme Court and they rule in favor of it, then obviously immediately. If they don't, then it's probably gonna take quite a long time for southern states to adopt it.
The Drunken Peasants is how long do you think it'll take for marijuana to be legalized in the entire United States and be brought down from Schedule 1 back down to Schedule 3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll
Gay marriage
take a
will
long
happen.
while.
Yeah, gay marriage will happen before legal weed will happen.
Way before, yeah.
Although, I don't know, there seems to be an acceleration once again of states putting it up on the ballot and it passing. So the problem, as always, is those southern states that are going to drag their feet, you know, every time that there's a chance of social change. We have to have the entire South drag its heels for another 80 or 90 years before anything of substance gets passed.
All right. And the results of the poll are in. It looks like the winning votes went towards the fan deserved what he got for getting on stage. That was the main vote in the poll that we took about the fan getting his ass kicked on
Drunken
stage.
Peasants audience supports violence.
Yeah.
So the poll will stay open for those of you who aren't watching this live, so more people can vote on it and check on it. We're going to keep doing polls. It encourages more audience participation, which is what we're all about here. So
Somebody vote for number 4, for fuck's sake! Like,
yes, I'll say vote for number 4.
He didn't need to kick him in the face. He just put his arm around the guy.
How dare you, liberal? He deserved it.
I mean, that is punk. I mean, the kick to the face was the punk as fuck thing to do.
Yeah.
But still, man, it was a little over the line. Let's love each other here.
I like how, the second most popular vote was like, this is punk rock. They need to just expect this to happen.
Right.
So
I don't know if you necessarily expect it, but I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility. You know what I mean? Because I mean, you don't. Because I mean, you expect people to jump on stage and then get thrown off, but obviously you don't expect him to push someone off then kick them in the face. You know, that's not really a normal thing. That's why it went viral and garnered controversy.
Right.
Yay! Right. Look, people are live voting for number 4. I love you guys. I love you, chat.
These Paul fucking people.
Yeah.
They've all been tricked by him. The Illuminati conspiracy.
PaulsEgo is not a Nazi sympathizer. I don't think that Nazism was completely wrong.
Later on, Fat Mike found the fan that he kicked in the face on Twitter.
And sucked his dick.
No, he apologized to him and said he'd buy him a beer if he came to the next show. So that makes up for everything.
Oh, okay. Well, then it's fine.
Yeah, it's all good.
All right, so we're going to wrap it up here. Don't forget, if you have any more videos or video questions, anything of that nature that you want to ask us, feel free to send it to our Facebook, facebook.com/Drunken Peasants. You can also follow us on Twitter @Drunken Peasants. And don't forget to go to our Patreon, patreon.com/DP if you want to support the show. And thank you very much for being on, Paul. It was great.
Thanks for having me, guys. It was a blast as always. Peace.
Smoke pan every day.
Smoke pan every day. Hey.
All right. So, we're going to wrap it up, and we will be back on Wednesday.
Make TJ's lazy ass fucking do the show for once. You lazy fucking fat fuck, TJ. This goes out to TJ. And this is one for the fans.
Oh, I cut away when you did that.
Damn.
All right.